Planning to appear for UPSC CSE but confused about where to start? Look no further. Vision IS Delhi presents the GS Foundation Course 2025, 2026 and 2027. Avail centralized access to learning with classroom and online resources. Study material that is expert researched and thoroughly analyzed basis the UPSC exam pattern. Personal and individualized guidance every step of the way to cater to your technical and specific needs. Explore the holistic learning modules we have designed for the UPSC CSE aspirant. Batch starts 20th December, 5 p.m. and 17th November, 9 a.m. Offline come live online classes. With the right ingredients, success is yours to have. Enroll today in the Vision IS GS Foundation Course 2025, 2026 and 2027.
So, in the last part of this session, we had a discussion regarding the analysis of previous papers, the analysis of all the questions which have been asked in geography section till now in the last 7 years. And, we also discussed the part of world mapping and the unit of physical geography, in that the questions related to the Earth, solar system and the universe. Okay, so just for a brief glance, and for those who are watching this before watching the other part, I would recommend you to see the other part. Okay, so so let's continue. In this session, I am going to discuss the questions of the other sections which I have discussed. Okay, so these are the overall sections of geography which we can say. So which we can divide the entire geography section into the world physical geography, Indian physical geography and the economic geography. So in the world physical geography, so we have the the world mapping, the Earth, solar system and universe, geomorphology, climatology, oceanography and biogeography. In Indian physical geography, we have the India mapping, physiography of India, drainage pattern of India, climate and soil. And in economic geography, we have the natural resources, natural vegetation, agriculture, industries and transportation, and along with the population and social aspects. So these are the different parts which we can divide into. And let me just briefly take you through this analysis which I told you earlier. So this is the overall weightage of this geography section in the last 7 years, and so you can see that it has increased to a good extent in the last 2 years, and approximately around 20 questions we can expect from geography, and these are the different sections and their weightage in prelims. Okay, so and it is, I know it is difficult to come to conclusion using this simple table, so that's why I have made this it's a pie chart. So we can divide the entire section 3 sections here. So the physical geography of world, physical geography of India, and then economic geography almost carries equal weightage, all the three, right? So particularly physical geography of world carries little bit higher, 40% is approximately 30% and 30%. So in the physical geography of world, so we can see that the mapping part of the world carries a very high weightage, more than 50% is in this part. 55% of the entire questions in the last 7 years have come from this world mapping, and the theoretical aspects, you can see the climatology, oceanography carries a very high weightage. Okay, so and so other than that, we have questions from geomorphology, solar system, Earth, universe, and then slightly one question about this biogeography. So this is based on the last 7 years. And talking about the physical geography of India, the mapping part of India has occupied disproportionately the high portion. So nearly 80% of the questions are from this physical geography of India. So we have, other than that, the physiography, drainage system, climate of India and soils of India. There was no question from climate of India. So because this is more of a conceptual part, the mains part, prelims related questions यहाँ पर last 7 years में नहीं आए हैं. And there was a question on the soils as well as the physiography, but drainage system physiography में actual weightage है. Okay, so that's because I've included all those questions which can be solved using atlas and mapping in this particular area only, mapping India. But that also includes the questions on physiography as well as drainage system. Okay, so it's not just the political location, political borders. It's about the physical features as well as the rivers, lakes, wetlands, reservoirs, all of this. So, but since it is easier to do it through mapping, I've included that here. So, however, it is not like खाली मैपिंग कर लेते हैं तो ये वाला पार्ट छोड़ते हैं, ऐसा नहीं सोचना है. So this is the drainage system and physiography is covered as part of this. ठीक है. And talking about the economic geography, we have a very good weightage from the economic aspects like agriculture. Agriculture carries the highest proportion, as well as the natural resources. Sorry, सबसे ज़्यादा है natural resources. That includes the water resource, the mineral resource, energy resource, all of these natural resources. Okay, so and after that, agriculture and natural vegetation, and industries and transportation, population and social aspect. Very limited. एक ही question आए हैं in the last 7 years, population and social aspect. So that too, it is not to the core part of this population geography or social geography. Okay. So till now we have discussed the questions of these two parts. Last session took mainly about the analysis part, so we went in detail over there. So let's continue from the questions of geomorphology. So let's finish these parts first, and then we'll come to India. So that will be good. Okay, so let's take the questions of geomorphology. So in the last 7 years, there were only 2 questions from geomorphology. So you'll be surprising to know that geomorphology being one of the very high weightage in this geography section, and you guys also study a lot about this, है ना, बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में पढ़ते हो, and फिर भी 2 ही क्वेश्चन आए हैं प्रीलिम्स में, तो ये तो जस्टिफाइड नहीं है, you know. But the thing is, you know, what you study as part of climatology and oceanography is based on geomorphology. Okay, so geomorphology provides a kind of background, and as well as for even the physical geography of India also, it is very much required. So it is the foundation, we can say, based on which the other sections are dependent, right? And moreover, it is the mains part which has the highest weightage geomorphology, whether it is the plate tectonics or the volcanism, earthquake, continental drift. Okay, so all these different phenomena which is happening here. Okay, so so in prelims, direct questions in the last 7 years has been only 2, and these questions have also been little bit factual, but good conceptual questions can be asked. In the last 7 years, only factual questions have come. So what are these 2? Okay, let me just show you these. So first question. So this was asked in the year 2018. It's a question on the geomagnetism, a topic which we study as part of the volcanism, earthquakes, and the internal structure. The first statement is Earth's magnetic field has reversed every few 100,000 years. So first of all, what is this Earth's magnetic field? So the magnetic field around the Earth, which is there due to the generation of electric current in the Earth's interior, is what is called as geomagnetism. Okay, so the Earth's interior generates electric currents inside it. So why is it so? Why does it generate electric current? So because the outer core is liquid in nature, and that contains iron charged particles. These particles, when they are in motion, it is like charges in motion that is generating electric current. So that electric current produces magnetic field around it, and this magnetic field is what is called as geomagnetism. So it has the magnetic north, magnetic south, right? And this magnetic poles are not fixed, we know that they continuously change their position. Okay, slowly, continuously changes. They not only move, their position also gets reversed. The magnetic north comes here towards the south, and magnetic south comes here towards the north. So it gets totally reversed. That is what is called as the reversal of magnetic field. It is assumed, it is hypothesized that the convection currents which are generated in the Earth's interior may get reversed, generating current in the opposite direction. Okay, so that can produce the magnetic field in the opposite direction. This is the most widely believed hypothesis, because all these things are like we are yet to understand a little bit more. Okay, so and so more research is being done here to come to exact conclusion. Okay, but reversal is something which we have observed for sure, and that is observed every 200 to 300,000 years. 200 to 300,000 means 2 to 3 lakh years. So every 2 to 3 lakh years we observe the reversal of magnetic field on the surface of Earth. So Earth's magnetic field has reversed every few 100,000 years. Is that right? Yes. When the Earth was created more than 4,000 million years ago, there was 54% oxygen. No. Initially, the initial atmosphere did not have much of oxygen at all. It was later through photosynthesis the oxygen was added. Okay, so that's why the second statement is wrong. And there was a high amount of carbon dioxide. Initially, there was a high amount of carbon dioxide. Third, when living organism originated, they modified the early atmosphere of the Earth through photosynthesis, right? So the answer is C, 1 and 3 only. Okay, simple and direct. So this question was asked in the year 2023. Okay, the next question, the last year, 2023. So this is about the earthquake waves. In a seismograph, what is seismograph? The instrument used to record the earthquake waves. So P waves are recorded earlier than S waves. P waves are recorded earlier than S wave. Is that right? Yes. In P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro in the direction of wave propagation, whereas in S wave, the particles vibrate up and down at right angles to the direction of propagation. Is that right? There are two waves. One is P waves, S waves. Both are body waves. Okay, if this is the focus, from the focus, the waves move in all the possible direction, and these waves passing through the interior of the earth is what is called as body waves. The interaction of body waves with the surface generates a secondary, okay, so that is what is surface waves. Okay, the waves which are generated due to the interaction of these body waves with the surface, इसको बोलते हैं surface waves. So talking about the P and S waves, P waves are similar to sound waves. It moves by compressing and expanding. Okay, it causes the vibration back and forth. It causes the vibration back and forth in the direction of propagation. Whereas S waves are similar to light waves. It causes the vibration up and down. Okay, this is how the particles vibrate when S waves moves up and down. This is how the particles vibrate back and forth when P waves move. This is S wave, this is P wave. The P waves, individual particles vibrate back and forth in the direction of propagation, and P waves are faster than S wave. That is why they are called as primary, S is secondary. Okay, answer is C. So these are two questions of geomorphology. So next, climatology. You can see there are a total of 5 questions in climatology in the last 7 years. Okay, so it is good to see the questions of climatology in geography, because you know climatology gives you a conceptual type of questions, and whoever has studied geography thoroughly, they will be able to answer it. Okay, it's not like some kind of facts or some information you don't know it, you will not be able to answer it. ऐसे तो नहीं है. ठीक है, both climatology as well as oceanography. Okay, same is the case with geomorphology also. And the questions, I would say, they are not very easy. They are moderate level because conceptual understanding is required. And from fractal, it has started to move towards the conceptual part, because if you see before the last 3-4 years के पहले वाला क्वेश्चन देखा तो थोड़ा बहुत फैक्चुअल था, तो अभी थोड़ा सा कॉन्सेप्चुअल टाइप आने लगा है, तो दैट इज a good trend, we can say. Okay, the first question. So this was asked in 2019. Why are dewdrops not formed on a cloudy night? Okay, let's see the formation of dew. How exactly dew is formed? Dew is formed usually during the winter condition. During the winter, the surface cools down rapidly. As the temperature of the surface decreases, the temperature of the air above it also decreases rapidly. Okay, as the temperature of surface decreases, the temperature of air which is in direct contact, जो direct contact में रहता है ना, उसका भी temperature decrease हो जाएगा. Because of which, whatever the water droplets which are there, water vapor which is there in this part of the air, it condenses because of the overall cooling. Okay, it reaches the dew point, it condenses and gets dropped and accumulates on the surface in the form of dew. That is what is dew. Now, the process of dew formation involves the rapid cooling of the air near to the surface. That requires 3 conditions. Okay, 3 conditions are necessary for this. What are they? Long winter night. Okay, long winter night. Number 2, calm condition. Calm and windless basically. जहाँ पर calm conditions होते हैं, the winds are not very strong. If at all the winds are very strong, whatever the condensation which is producing this water droplet, that will be removed. It will not let it accumulate on the ground only. Okay, we don't want wind condition, that is what is calm condition. Third one is clear sky. What do you mean by clear sky? If at all there are clouds, okay, तो इसके ऊपर clouds है, so these clouds will reflect back the radiation, and that will not let the air itself to cool down. It will not let the air to cool down, so the condensation will not happen, dew formation will also not happen. We need long winter night, calm and clear condition, and calm and windless condition, clear and cloudless sky. What is the answer here? Clouds will reflect back the radiation, and that will keep the entire area warm, because of which the condensation will not happen. Cloud will not absorb the radiation. Clouds का main काम होता है reflection. Okay, so particularly the waves which are coming from below, नीचे से जो आता है ना उसको वापस भेज के यहाँ पर trap करते हैं. Earth's surface would have low temperature on cloudy night. That is, the statement itself is wrong. Clouds deflect the blowing wind to the ground. It will not deflect the winds. Winds will not move. Okay, so जो convection है वो अलग है. Otherwise, the winds move horizontally. Right? The answer is B. So next 2020. This was the question asked in 2020. इसका आंसर बताइए. What is the answer here? 2 only. That is C. Is that right? चलो let's see. Jet stream occur in northern hemisphere only. ऐसा है क्या? Jet streams are strong circulation of wind in the upper troposphere or lower stratosphere that is usually found between the two different cellular circulation, between Hadley cell, Ferrel cell, polar cell, and we have Hadley cell, Ferrel cell, polar cells in both northern hemisphere as well as southern hemisphere. Right? Not only that, there are various other jet streams wherever there is a difference of pressure gradient. Okay, so different between the two different types of air masses. So there, that strong gradient of temperature and pressure results in the formation of jet streams. That is possible both in the northern hemisphere as well as in the southern hemisphere. The first statement is wrong. Only some cyclones develop eye. What do you mean by eye of the cyclone? The central area where the sky is totally clear. That is what is eye of the cyclone, right? So cyclones, when it reaches a totally mature stage, पूरा बहुत बड़ा हो गया तो very big size cyclone where it has formed a very thick clouds, and in that case some part, okay, so if this is a surface, यहाँ पर पूरा ऐसे बहुत बड़ा सा clouds बन गया, okay, strong convection is happening, so some of the rising air near to the central part starts to descend down here, and that will clear the sky. At the central part you will see a strong clearance, मतलब totally cloudless condition आता है, that is what we call it as the eye of the cyclone. For that the entire cyclone should mature. Only some cyclones will have eye. Okay, that is right. The temperature inside the eye of the cyclone is nearly 10 degree lesser than that of surrounding. Is that right? Usually center में highest temperature होना चाहिए, lowest pressure होना चाहिए. Then only the cyclone will survive. If the temperature drops, the cyclone will not be able to survive. Right? So the answer is C, 2 only. So that was the question in 2020. There was no question in 2021, and this was the question in 2022. What is the answer? Okay, it's a tricky question. Let's see. So it's talking about the high clouds and low clouds. So what do you mean by high clouds and low clouds? Okay, it is usually measured with respect to the surface. So clouds are present up to troposphere only. What is the height of troposphere? 6 to 16 kilometers, average let's say 10 kilometers. Okay, so let's say 10 kilometers. So that is up to 25-30,000 feet. Okay, तो वहाँ तक होगा. This entire region is divided into 3 parts. Up to 6,000 feet, we have low clouds. 6,000 to 18,000 feet is mid level clouds, beyond 18,000 feet is high level clouds. Okay, 3 level है. तो सबसे ऊपर कौन सा clouds रहता है? Cirrus. Okay, so you must have seen cirrus cloud, cirrus, cirrocumulus, cirrostratus. All of these are very light feather kind of clouds. बहुत हल्का रहता है. They are totally white in color. The low lying clouds are totally dark in color, बहुत dense रहेगा. So either cumulus, cumulostratus, or stratus, or nimbus. Okay, they are all low lying clouds. So let's see the statement. High clouds primarily reflect the solar radiation and cool the surface of Earth. See, there is a possibility of some reflection, but it will not helping cooling of the surface. Okay, there is only some part because they are very, very thin. The radiation, solar radiation, high energy radiation while passing through the atmosphere. Okay, so it will pass very easily through these thin clouds. These are very, very thin clouds, it will pass. Some part gets reflected. But major part of reflection comes from the thick clouds. The reflection part is actually from the low-lying clouds. When the sunlight is falling, major part of the reflection happens from this low-lying clouds. This is the one which is helping in reflection. And if more sunlight is reflected, it helps in cooling. Okay, so reflection helps in cooling. Now, which one is doing the reflection? That is what you have to see. Low-lying clouds help in reflection, whereas high-lying clouds help in absorption. When the radiation is lost, okay, when the radiation is lost, this terrestrial radiation reaches the higher part and from there it gets reflected back. Sorry, it absorbs the infrared radiation. From there it gets absorbed. जो नीचे से आता है ना, that is the one which is getting absorbed. Because the one which is coming from below is IR in nature, infrared in nature, because its overall intensity is less. Basically दोनों का आंसर इंटरचेंज किया है. It is the high clouds which have high absorption of infrared radiation and low clouds help in reflection of solar radiation. So that is why the answer is D. So next, this year's 2023's question. So what is the answer for this? See, this question with reference to Earth's atmosphere, which one of the following statement is correct? अगर correct पूछ लिया तो थोड़ा बहुत easy है ढूंढना, है ना? क्योंकि 3 गलत है, तो गलत आइडेंटिफाई करना तो easy है. Which of them is incorrect पूछ लिया तो थोड़ा बहुत tricky हो जाता है. तो अगर डाउट भी हो तो मोस्ट प्रोबेबल करेक्ट आप मार्क कर सकते हो यहाँ पर, है ना? तो गलत वाला एलिमिनेट करते जाओ तो आंसर मिल जाएगा आपको. ओके, लेट्स सी. द टोटल अमाउंट ऑफ इंसुलेशन रिसीव्ड एट द इक्वेटर इज रफली about 10 times that of received at the poles. So we have studied that the overall amount of insulation received at the equator is more as compared to the insulation received at the pole, because at the equator the sunlight falls straight, whereas at the poles the sunlight falls at a very slanting angle. But 10 times is too much. 10 times तो बहुत ज़्यादा है, तो इतना ज़्यादा वेरिएशन नहीं होगा. Okay, there is of course variation, but it is not 10 times. It is up to 4 to 5 times only. Maximum उतना ही होता है, तो 10 times variation तो बहुत मुश्किल है. ठीक है, the first statement is wrong. Infrared rays constitute roughly 2/3 of insolation. What do you mean by insolation? Incoming solar radiation, which has a very high range of wavelength, from gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays, visible, IR, micro, radio, and in that it is saying that IR का ही 2/3 से ज़्यादा है. 2/3 से ज़्यादा तो नहीं हो सकता है, ये भी गलत है. Infrared waves are largely absorbed by water vapor that is concentrated in the lower atmosphere. शायद हो सकता है. Infrared rays are part of visible spectrum of electromagnetic waves of solar radiation. तो स्टेटमेंट देखते ही आपको गलत लगेगा, क्योंकि visible is different, IR is different. So what gives visibility to our eyes? विजिबल लाइट 400 to 700 नैनोमीटर्स, ओके, तो उससे और लॉन्गर वेवलेंथ होगा इंफ्रारेड. Infrared we will not be able to see in infrared. Few of the animals will be able to see in infrared. Okay, thermal cameras होता है, तो thermal binoculars होता है. So using that they will be able to see infrared, but not the normal human eyes. The answer is C. The infrared rays are largely absorbed by water vapor that is concentrated in the lower atmosphere. Okay, so पहली बात है कि water vapor is concentrated in the lower atmosphere. Is that right? More than 90% of the water vapor is in the lower atmosphere, that is troposphere only. Second, water vapor is a greenhouse gas. It absorbs the radiation coming from the land, that is terrestrial radiation को absorb करता है, right? Greenhouse gas absorb the terrestrial radiation, and water का जो absorption जो part है ना, that is approximately in the IR range only. Okay, so most of the IR coming from the surface से जो भी heat radiations आता है ना, so terrestrial radiation that is majorly absorbed by the water vapor. In 2023, there was another question also. Little bit tricky question. Read carefully and give the answer. So this kind of statement questions have made a comeback after a very long period of time. Okay, nearly 10-15 years के बाद में ऐसे यूपीएससी में वापस आए हैं assertion reasoning type of questions. Okay, so in this question, if two statements are asked. Okay, two statements are asked. First, you have to see whether these statements are right or wrong. See this first statement independently. See the second statement independently. Verify whether they are right or wrong. If both are right, then only you can proceed. अगर इनमें से एक गलत हो गया तो आपका आंसर मिल जाएगा. Okay, see this option C, option D. Option C is statement 2 is incorrect. Option D is statement 1 is incorrect. उसमें आंसर मिल जाएगा. अगर दोनों सही है फिर आपका दो ऑप्शन होगा. You have to see whether the second statement is the reason behind the first statement. मतलब this is a statement, this can be explained by second statement or not. ठीक है, फिर वो चेक करना है, वो थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी हो जाता है. First, see whether the statements are right or wrong. The temperature contrast between the continents and oceans is greater during summer than winter. What do you mean by this? For this, you have to go to NCERT, the distribution of temperature. I hope you guys remember this map. It's given in NCERT. So the isotherms are used for understanding the distribution of temperature. The statement says that what is the statement? The temperature contrast between the continents and ocean is greater during summer than in winter. So temperature contrast means temperature difference of land and ocean. So if you take any particular same latitude, what is the temperature here, what is the temperature here? Let's say T1, T2. The difference is basically the temperature contrast. Of course, temperature will not remain the same. Uniform तो नहीं होगा between these two parts. During the winter, where do you experience higher temperature? Over the oceans. During the summer, you will experience higher temperature over the land. That's because of the specific heat. The specific heat of land is less, the specific heat of water is more. The land gets heated up faster, cools down also faster. The oceans get heated up slower and cools down slower. Right? That is the statement. Second statement तो वही था, वो सही है. It is because of this behavior you observe the difference of temperature between the land and sea. Contrasting तो है. अभी statement होगा between the summers and winter कौन सा ज़्यादा contrasting है? You take any particular latitude and see between the summers and winter सबसे ज़्यादा contrasting आपको कहाँ पर मिलता है? Contrast कहाँ पर मिलता है? This statement is little bit general because there are certain particular latitude जहाँ पर winter में ज़्यादा contrast दिखेगा आपको, particularly latitude near to Siberia, right? Because the land cools down too much. The temperature in Siberia goes up to -40, -50 degrees Celsius. However, if you see in a general sense across the earth, because the statement is made in a general sense, okay, during the summers, okay, so during the summers, the land gets heated up too much high, whereas the oceans also get heated up to some extent, but it is not that high. If the average temperature of the land during the summer, okay, average temperature of the land during the summer is, let's say, 35 degrees Celsius, the oceans would reach 20 degrees Celsius. The contrast is 15 degrees. But the average temperature of the land during the winters, we can keep it 10 degrees Celsius. The average temperature of the oceans will be around 15 degrees Celsius. Even though this is warmer, okay, even though this is warmer, but it will not cool down too much. यहाँ पर देखो 35 से 15 तक आ गया है, यहाँ पर 20 से 15 तक आया. It is cooling down slowly. Which one has the higher contrast? Summer. Okay, in a general sense, if you see across the world, the summer is experienced. मतलब summer में ज़्यादा higher contrast मिलेगा than winter. ठीक है? So with that sense, the statement 1 become correct. The temperature contrast between the continent and ocean is greater during summer than in winter. Right? The temperature contrast between the continents and ocean is greater during the summer than in the winter. That is because of the specific heat of water is more than that of land. The second statement explains the first statement. The answer is ye. Is that clear? Little bit tricky. You have to read it carefully and then answer it. So next, oceanography. 5 questions have been asked in oceanography in the last 7 years. And oceanography is a small part. If you study it thoroughly, you can answer them, and most of the questions are conceptual type. For that, you need the support of climatology as well as geomorphology to understand the overall topics in oceanography. And since they are more or less conceptual type, they are not easy to understand. है ना, थोड़ा बहुत tricky है. For example, El Nino, La Nina, ये सब थोड़ा सा tricky है. You have to be very clear about this. That's why the difficulty level is like moderate to difficult in nature. And in the recent times, the trend has become they are moving more towards the current related issues, current affairs. This is also an area where you can expect a good number of questions. अच्छा सा question बन सकता है. Okay, so read this question and give me the answer. Okay. So what is the answer here? B or C? With reference to Indian Ocean Dipole, sometimes mentioned in news while forecasting Indian monsoon, which of the following statement is or correct? चलो briefly revise कर लेते हैं. ये है हमारा Indian Ocean Dipole. So what is this dipole phenomena? The temperature difference between the western Indian Ocean and the eastern Indian Ocean always behaves like opposite poles. If there is high temperature here near to this part of Arabian Sea, the temperature here near Indonesia and Australia is low. If there is a low temperature here, the temperature here will be high. This seesaw variation is what is called as the Indian Ocean dipole. Okay, between the western Indian Ocean and eastern Indian Ocean. So approximately diagonal, so from here near to Arabian Sea and here towards Indonesia and Australia. If there is a high temperature, there is a low pressure. Low temperature causes high pressure. Okay, so low temperature, there is a convection, cloud formation, precipitation, good rainfall here. So high pressure condition, dry conditions. This is what is called as the positive IOD. You can remember positive is good, this is good for India. है ना? So in case of negative Indian Ocean dipole, there is a low temperature and high pressure conditions. Okay, high temperature and low pressure condition. High pressure condition will not cause convection. Okay, यहाँ पर convection नहीं होगा तो थोड़ा सा dry condition आ जाएगा. Here there will be convection, cloud formation and precipitation. This is negative Indian Ocean dipole because this is negative for India. ठीक है, so ये है Indian Ocean dipole. So now tell me, IOD phenomena is characterized by difference of sea surface temperature between the tropical Western Indian Ocean and tropical Eastern Pacific Ocean. Is that right? Okay, so यहाँ पर change हो गया. This is not about Pacific Ocean. This is about Indian Ocean only. Okay, so Indian Ocean का ही comparison होगा. IOD can influence the El Nino's impact. Yes, this is totally right. That's because, you know, so El Nino causes low precipitation over India. Positive IOD causes high precipitation over India. It can reduce the impact of El Nino. If at all there is a El Nino and there is a negative IOD, definitely it will accentuate the impact. Okay, overall इसको influence कर ही लेगा. Right? The second statement is right. The answer is B. This question was asked in 2018 regarding coral reefs. What is the answer? So let's see. So we know that coral reefs are like the ecosystem which are built in the continental shelf by the symbiotic relationship between the coral polyp and zooxanthellae. Okay, so based on which all the other species in the surrounding area will thrive, and that is one of the richest in terms of diversity. That is why it is also called as the rainforest of oceans. Most of the world's corals are in tropical waters. Is that right? Yes, most of them. Because the statement is about coral reef. The reef building corals are the ones which are symbiotic in nature and they live only in the warm waters. Okay, warm waters में ही रहता है. And there are cold water corals. They are not symbiotic in nature. They live in the bottom of the ocean. They are called as the cold water corals. They are not reef building. They don't build the colonies. Okay, they are found in some of the other parts of the world. The first statement is right. More than 1/3 of the world's coral reefs are located in the territories of Australia, Indonesia and Philippines. This is also right. Okay, so in the regions around Australia, Indonesia and Philippines, that is where we have the coral triangle. This entire Southeast Asian region and Australia's Great Barrier Reef, this accounts for the largest area of coral reefs in the entire world, accounting for more than 30%, more than 1/3 of the entire world's corals. Okay, first one is also right, second is also right. Third, coral reefs host far more number of animal fauna than those hosted by the tropical rainforest. What about this? Is that right or wrong? The question तो इसी के ऊपर dependent है. You are left with two options. When you are left with two options, you should always go ahead, take a logical guess. Okay, try to think what exactly they are asking. They are asking about animal phyla. What is phyla? Division of kingdom. Okay, division of kingdom. Kingdom को subdivide करके phyla बनाते हैं. How many kingdoms are there? 5 kingdoms are there. How many phylas are there in total? 34. There are a total of 34 phylas. Okay. I'm talking about animal phylas. ठीक है, so not the plant phylas, animal phyla. Animal kingdom के अंदर there are 34 phyla. Now coral reefs have more number of basically animal species जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है as compared to the tropical rainforest. हो सकता है, पॉसिबल है, हो सकता है, क्योंकि ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट में प्लांट वेजिटेशन ज़्यादा है, उसका डाइवर्सिटी ज़्यादा है, ऑफकोर्स उसके ऊपर एनिमल डाइवर्सिटी भी होगा, ठीक है, बट यहाँ पर जो आपको मिलेगा इट्स मेजरली एनिमल डाइवर्सिटी ओनली, यहाँ पर प्लांट्स नहीं होता है. दैट इज राइट. Of the 34 animal phyla, 32 are found here. In the coral reefs of the world, you will find nearly 32 out of 34 animal phyla. Whereas in the tropical rainforest, you will find a maximum of 9 phyla of animals. Okay, so their richest answer is D. Is that clear? So that was the second question. Let's come to the third question, which was asked in 2020. With reference to ocean mean temperature, OMT, ocean mean temperature, which of the following statements are correct? What do you mean by ocean mean temperature? The temperature of the waters, okay, the average temperature of the waters in the oceans basically. OMT is measured up to the depth of 26 degrees Celsius isotherm, which is 129 meters in southwestern Indian Ocean during January and March. It looks like a very tricky, very technical statement. थोड़ा सा decode करने की कोशिश करो, आंसर मिल जाएगा. ओके, कौन सी सीजन का बात कर रहे हैं? जनवरी एंड मार्च. कौन सी रीजन का? साउथ वेस्ट इंडियन ओशन. वेयर इज दिस साउथ वेस्ट इंडियन ओशन? कहां पर है? साउथ वेस्ट. So this is southwest Indian Ocean. Okay, this is Southeast Indian Ocean. This is Northeast Indian Ocean. This is Northwest Indian Ocean. It's around the Madagascar, the islands of Madagascar and the surrounding area. During January and March, okay, that is in the southern hemisphere. There it is summer. Okay, so summer around Madagascar area. If you measure the temperature in the ocean around Madagascar area during the summers, if you measure the temperature, it is saying that आपको मिलेगा 26 degrees of temperature at a depth of 129 meters. मतलब from surface 129 meters नीचे जाने के बाद में आपको मिलता है 26 degrees of temperature. Is that right? थोड़ा सा logically सोचते हैं. What is the average temperature near to the surface? ट्रॉपिकल वाटर्स में ही सरफेस के पास में एवरेज टेम्परेचर क्या होगा? 21, 22, 23 डिग्री सेल्सियस. 27 पहुंच गया तो साइक्लोन आ जाएगा. इफ द टेम्परेचर गोज अप टू 27 डिग्री सेल्सियस, साइक्लोन आ जाएगा. दैट इज नियर टू द सरफेस. Okay, for cyclone formation, what is the actual temperature required? 27 degree Celsius. What is the depth of the water up to which you have to have this? 60 to 70 meters. Around 50, 60, 70 meters तक इतना वार्म वाटर हो गया तो साइक्लोन बन जाएगा. अगर इतना टेम्परेचर 120 मीटर्स तक है तो कितना वार्म होना चाहिए? थोड़ा सा सोचिए, थोड़ा सा फार फेच्ड है. द ओशन वाटर विल नॉट गेट हीटेड अप टू दैट डेप्थ. इतना डीपर तक हीट अप नहीं होगा. That to 26 degree Celsius. The statement is wrong. So even if you think थोड़ा सा ऐसे हो सकता है क्या पॉसिबली लगा तो आपको लगेगा ये तो इतना नहीं हो सकता है. The ocean temperature, average ocean temperature is 21-22 degrees Celsius in the tropical region, and with depth it decreases further. Okay, so this temperature will be there up to like 60-70 meters, and beyond that it starts to decrease. Okay, so इतना तो heat up नहीं होगा. OMT collected during January-March can be used in assessing whether the amount of rainfall in monsoon will be less or more than a certain long-term mean. If you measure the ocean surface ओशन मीन टेम्परेचर ऑफ द नॉर्थन इंडियन ओशन और द सदर्न इंडियन ओशन, साउथ वेस्ट पार्ट का भी हम मेजर किया तो the amount of heating which this part is undergoing will define the pressure difference between the this part and this part. Amount of heat which is being amount of heating which it is happening, and that also decides the rate of evaporation of the water, the how much of moist air is being created, the moist air mass is being created, and based on that we can give a comparison. Okay, so whether it is going to be more rainfall or less rainfall, because the overall prediction of the IMD, the amount of rainfall, so they give the long period average के हिसाब से इतना आने वाला है इस बार, वो prediction किसके ऊपर based होगा? The mean sea temperature of the oceans only, particularly this northern Indian Ocean and the southern Indian Ocean. Based on that you can come to conclusion, because the wind speed depends upon the pressure difference, right? The second statement is right. First is wrong, second is right. Answer is B, 2 only. So next, this was the question in 2021. थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी था, अभी कंपैरेटिवली इजी होना चाहिए, बताइए इसका आंसर. You can see the conceptual type of questions. This is not something fact. So fact से वो याद रख के आंसर नहीं कर सकते हो. You should know the idea of the planetary winds as well as the ocean currents. What is the answer? Chalo, let's see. In the tropical zone, the western sections of oceans are warmer than the eastern sections, owing to the influence of trade winds. So let's take the example of Atlantic Ocean only. This is the tropical waters. This is temperate waters. Tropical waters, temperate waters. Tropical waters, western part. Tropical waters, eastern part. Temperate waters, western part. Temperate waters, eastern part. Fine. So, what is the statement? In the tropical zone, the western sections of oceans are warmer than the eastern section. In the tropical zone, this is warmer than this. Is that a right statement? Yes. This is the region where you have the cold ocean currents. This is the region where you have the warm ocean currents due to the trade winds which are continuously moving from east to west, which will push the warm water. As the trade winds push the warm water, to replace this water, there is a cold water upwelling, which makes the temperature low over there, and this warm water accumulates along the western margin, which causes higher temperature. That is the reason we have higher number of cyclones here, right? The second statement, in the temperate zone, the westerlies make the eastern zones of oceans warmer than the western section. Is that right? Can we say so? Yes, this is the region of westerlies, which will push the waters from here to there. This is where we have the North Atlantic drift. The movement of North Atlantic drift increases the temperature here. Normally यहाँ पर जितना temperature होना चाहिए उससे भी ज़्यादा होगा. As this water moves, in fact, some part of the cold ocean current also joins here. The Labrador current joins here. That makes the overall temperature low here. Under the influence of westerlies, this water gets pushed here. The overall temperature rises over there. Right? Both the statements are correct. The western sections of oceans are warmer than eastern section in tropical. Temperate में westerlies make the eastern sections of ocean warmer than the western section. ठीक है? The answer is C. So basically, तो थोड़ा बहुत carefully देखना है, carefully statements पढ़ना है, फिर आंसर कर सकते हो. और इससे ज़्यादा जो आप लोगों ने पढ़ के आए हो उसके ऊपर भी थोड़ा सा भरोसा रखना है. And now, so with that confidence, if you try to see and understand the question, so you will definitely get the answer. So this was the question in 2022. With reference to UN Convention on Law of Seas. It's about the extent of the maritime zones. Maritime zones का extent कहाँ तक जाएगा? Okay, so this you may have studied as part of international relations also, but we can include in oceanography because usually oceanography का जो maritime zones तो include कर ही लेते हैं हम, you know, so you'll be studying the overall extent of the oceans and their overall borders. A coastal state has the right to establish the breadth of its territorial sea up to a limit not exceeding 12 nautical miles measured from baseline. बहुत लोग यहीं पे कंफ्यूज हुआ था, बेसलाइन में होगा या नहीं होगा. 12 नॉटिकल माइल्स तो सुन लिया था, बेसलाइन से होगा या नहीं होगा. Okay, let me just demarcate these zones. The average line at which the land ends and the ocean begins is what is called as baseline. Okay, all the waters behind the baseline is called as internal waters. From baseline up to 12 nautical miles is territorial sea. From baseline up to 24 nautical miles is contiguous zone. From baseline up to 200 nautical miles is exclusive economic zone. So now tell me, a coastal state has the right to establish the breadth of its territorial sea up to the limit not exceeding 12 nautical miles measured from the baseline. That is what is defined as per the convention. Ships of all states, whether coastal or landlocked, enjoy the right of innocent passage through the territorial sea. That is what is defined in the convention. It is agreed in the convention that the member state allow innocent passage. Innocent passage is basically, so any kind of passage without impacting the surrounding area. They can impose certain restrictions, but they have to follow, but you cannot say, hum allow nahi karenge. Right? Third, exclusive economic zone shall not extend beyond 200 nautical miles from the baseline from which the breadth of the territorial sea is measured. Yeah, this is a tricky statement. So let's read this again. The exclusive economic zone shall not extend beyond 200 nautical miles from the baseline from which the breadth of territorial sea is measured. ठीक है, territorial sea जहां से measure किया था वहां से 200 nautical miles तक exclusive economic zone हो सकता है. That is what is defined in the convention. Okay, that is what is defined in the convention with a extra clause. Extra clause होगा in some exceptional cases where the continental shelf extends beyond that, beyond 200 nautical miles तक जब जाएगा, so तब continental shelf को exclusive economic zone मानेंगे. But otherwise this statement cannot be called as wrong. But it is not talking about the continental shelf only. Exclusive economic zone shall not extend beyond 200 nautical miles from the baseline from which the breadth of the continental territorial sea is measured. This is how exactly as it is defined किया है. Statement is as it is defined, legally it is defined. In addition to that, there is a clause. उसके basis में इसको गलत नहीं मान सकते. Because in most of the cases, it ends beyond 200 nautical miles only. Okay, so we cannot say the edge of the continental shelf is always the exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone is up to 200 nautical miles. In some exceptional cases, if it extends beyond that, continental shelf will be considered. Okay, so this is the right one. Yes, yes, yes. ठीक है? So that was about oceanography. So next, biogeography. There was only one question from biogeography in the last 7 years, and that was more or less information based. Conceptual based पूछ सकते हैं based on the various different processes which are active in the soils. And of course, the trend is closely linking the ecology environment with biogeography. That is the overall the trend, right? So let's see this question. ओके फर्स्ट ऐसे स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड में इमीडिएटली पहले देखो स्टेटमेंट सही है गलत है, तो उससे शायद आंसर निकल जाएगा. द सॉइल इन ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट इज रिच इन न्यूट्रिएंट, तो वहीं से निकल गया. आपको सेकंड स्टेटमेंट पढ़ने का भी जरूरी नहीं है. इफ एट ऑल यू हैड रेड बायोजियोग्राफी thoroughly. In the tropical rainforest, because of heavy leaching and the laterization process, most of the nutrients in the topsoil is washed away through leaching process. Okay, they are deposited to the bottom part. That makes the topsoil very fragile. That type of soil is what is called as laterite soil. Laterite soil milta hai, that is the soil which is found in Western Ghats as well as Meghalaya and some parts of Aravallis, southern part of Aravallis and Odisha. Yes. Okay, so जहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा बारिश होगा, heavy rainfall and high temperature, there you will find this laterite soil. They are not rich in nutrients. So first statement is wrong. अगर फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट गलत है तो आंसर डायरेक्टली मिल गया. उसका मतलब है सेकंड स्टेटमेंट सही होना चाहिए. आप सही है गलत है ये चेक कर लो. High temperature and moisture of tropical rainforest cause the dead organic matter in the soil to decompose quickly. Yes, that is why humus content in the this laterite soil is also very less. बहुत जल्दी decompose हो जाएगा as compared to the temperate regions and the mountain soils. ठीक है. So that is about biogeography. So let's come to the most interesting part, the mapping part of India. So in that pie chart which I showed you earlier, so you can see that more than 75% of the questions from Indian physical geography is taken by this mapping part only. That doesn't mean that you can just do the mapping and be done away with this जो other parts को छोड़ दो, ऐसे नहीं सोचना है. But this mapping part is directly indirectly connected to what you study as part of physical geography of India. Okay, and many of the things you cannot just mug up and remember, so it will be better if you can analyze the pattern and understand the overall idea of the conceptual part. So overall in the last 7 years there are a total of 19 questions from Indian mapping part. World mapping में 21 questions था, तो Indian mapping में 19 questions है, and they are of moderate nature, not too difficult, not too easy. Okay, not too easy because you have to do this, थोड़ा बहुत तो पढ़ना है, ऐसे बिना पढ़ के आके तो नहीं मिलने वाला है. And not too difficult because once you do it thoroughly you will be able to solve this. Okay, so there are few current related questions that makes it difficult. Otherwise the overall the area of this India mapping is approachable. Of course mapping is factual, and the recent trend is intermixing of different themes. Okay, so and more about the current locations and the practical ones. तो इंटरमिक्सिंग ऑफ थीम्स वही है जो मैंने बताया था, द माउंटेन्स एंड रिवर्स. ओके, सो रिवर्स एंड प्लेटूज एंड द सिटीज़ एंड द रीजन्स, कौन सी रीजन में है. ओके, सो और इवन द नेशनल पार्क्स एंड रिवर्स. ओके, दिस इज हाउ द क्वेश्चंस हैव बीन आस्क्ड. ठीक है, एंड this definitely we can segregate into two parts, the conceptual, sorry, the static part which you can refer from the NCRTs and the mapping atlas, and then the current part which you definitely need the support from the current affairs. Yeah, there's one more thing. चलो ठीक है, तो let's go through these questions. At one of the places in India, if you stand on the seashore and watch sea, you will find the sea water recedes from shoreline a few kilometers and come back to the shore twice a day, and you can actually walk on the seafloor when the water recedes. This unique phenomena is seen at Chandipur. What is this phenomena? Tides, high tides and low tides. You know, along the Odisha coast, there is a location called as Chandipur. Let me just show that. This is the Chandipur coast of Odisha towards the northern part of Mahanadi Delta. Okay, this is the Mahanadi Delta, and this is where Chandipur is located. Okay, so this is very famous. In fact, many tourists from across the world come here to see this phenomena. So we all know that during the high tide and low tide, the water recedes and comes back. Okay, during the high tide, the water comes little bit inside along the coast, and during the low tide, it goes back. Okay, the overall the location of the place and the overall width of the continental shelf and the way water comes and goes, so will decide the extent of these high tide and low tide. Near Chandipur, it has मतलब accidentally ऐसे हो गया कि during the high tide the water goes up to 5 kilometers and during the low tide it comes back. Okay, daily twice this happens. And so when it is low tide, if you are in this coast, you are literally walking on the oceanic floor. ये है Chandipur coast. Okay, so this is from the mapping part you can do, or from the tides wala part as an example you can do. So overall related to the Indian location. Answer is Chandipur. What about this? Yeah. So if you travel by road from Kohima to Kottayam, what is the minimum number of states within India through which you can travel, including the origin and destination? Okay, by road है, बहुत clearly दिया है. How by air नहीं आ सकते हो. And you have to include the origin and destination. And we are talking about the minimum numbers. ना maximum नहीं, maximum तो घूमते ही रहो, जितना चाहिए उतना मिलेगा. Okay, so this, how to answer these kind of questions. So through the mapping part, so so you have to develop a very clear idea about the internal state borders. State border should be very, very clear to you. You should know which state is located on which state, which other state, and what are the surrounding states. And this is not something which you can mug up. Okay, so with practice it comes over a period of time. So you will develop a better image of this map. Okay, both India map as well as world map. So with that picturization you should be able to answer it. Okay, ऐसे मगअप करके तो नहीं कर सकते. You should be able to imagine, ठीक है, इसके बगल में ये कौन सा, इसके बगल में ये स्टेट है, तो इसके बगल में ये है, ऐसे इमेजिन करते जाना. So now coming from Kohima to Kottayam, where is Kohima? Nagaland. Kottayam is in Kerala. Okay, so including the origin, Nagaland becomes number 1. Nagaland to Assam to आना ही है. Assam is number 2. So Assam to West Bengal to आना ही है. So otherwise there is no exit. From here you can take multiple paths. The shortest is to come to Odisha, Odisha to Andhra Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu to Kerala, or from Andhra Pradesh to Karnataka and then Karnataka to Kerala. Total of 7. Okay, so this comes with practice. You have to do this mapping part very seriously. And at least now, after realizing the overall number of questions which are coming, I hope you guys start doing it seriously. The answer is B, 7. So, iska answer bataiye. In India, the Himalayas are spread over 5 states only. Okay. So the question came in 2017. So even if you consider the Great Himalaya, okay, Great Himalaya को consider किया तो शायद हो सकता था तब. हाँ, जम्मू कश्मीर, हिमाचल, उत्तराखंड, सिक्किम एंड अरुणाचल 2017 में. ओके, सो अभी भी गलत हो जाएगा क्योंकि 4 स्टेट प्लस यूनियन टेरिटरी हो जाएगा. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द ग्रेट हिमालय, but talking about the entire Himalayas, no, because the entire Himalayas include the stretch of many states. A part of Punjab also has the Shivaliks, Haryana has Shivalik, Uttar Pradesh has Shivalik, Bihar का भी यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा शिवालिक आ जाता है. Let me just zoom in and show you. Okay, can you see here? So along the Nepal border you will see this some elevation, that is Shivaliks. And of course West Bengal has access to Darjeeling. Darjeeling to part of proper Himalayas, and Assam along the foothills there are access to Shivalik. Shivalik is proper part of Himalayas only. So it is not just 5 states. So Western Ghats are spread over 5 states only. What are the 6 states? So Western Ghats starts from towards the south of Tapi. Tapi से शुरू होगा. तो if at all you are talking about the states alone, गुजरात, महाराष्ट्र, गोवा. बहुत लोग गोवा भूल गए थे, तो गोवा बहुत छोटा है बट यूनियन टेरिटरी नहीं है, स्टेट है. याद रखो, गोवा है, कर्नाटका, केरला एंड तमिलनाडु. 6 states. If you include union territories, दमन, दीव, दादरा, नगर हवेली will also come. ठीक है. Pulicat Lake is spread over 2 states only. Where is this Pulicat Lake? Along the border between Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So Pulicat Lake is very strategic lake for this location. कौन सा location है? श्रीहरिकोटा. श्रीहरिकोटा, the launching site of ISRO, है ना. तो उसकी वजह से ये strategic है, and that is along the border between both Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Only the second statement is, the third statement is right. Answer is B. Which of the following is geographically closest to Great Nicobar? Sumatra, Borneo, Java, Sri Lanka. बताइए कौन सा? ग्रेट निकोबार कहाँ पर है? The southernmost island is Great Nicobar. It is in this island only we have the Indira Point. Southernmost island. From southernmost island, the nearest one is Sumatra. After Sumatra comes Java. This is Borneo. And this is Sri Lanka. सबसे nearest है Sumatra. So it is here we share maritime border with Indonesia. Answer is Sumatra. Among the following cities, which one lies on a longitude closest to that of Delhi? हाँ, ये भी interesting question है. बताइए. Again, these kind of questions show that you cannot mug up the mapping part. You cannot just take it for granted and ये सोच के कि ठीक है एक दिन बैठ के सारा कर दूंगा. You have to do it over a long period of time to develop this picture, to develop this idea of the maps. Okay, overall आपके दिमाग में वो clearly बैठना है. The India map कैसे है? तो वो जो आप लोग लगाए हैं आपके दीवार के ऊपर, okay, India map, world map, फिर लगा के भूल गए हैं, तो उसको थोड़ा बहुत देखना है daily basis में. फिर you need to recollect it so that you develop that picture of that map in your mind. The answer is Bengaluru. Okay, so let me just show this. See, there are few particular important latitudes and longitude. ऐसा कोई वैल्यू के ऊपर डिसाइड नहीं करेंगे हम इसको, ये वाला लैटिट्यूड को याद रखना है, ये वाला लॉन्गिट्यूड को याद रखना है. यू हैव टू सी देम एंड ओवरऑल डेवलप an idea which one is important and how many of them are located on the same latitude or longitude approximately. Okay, so let me give you for example. The longitude passing through Varanasi also passes through Visakhapatnam very closely. ठीक है? The longitude passing through Gangtok also passes through Kolkata. No need to note it down. इसे बहुत सारा मिलेगा, ये खुद आपको करना है. ठीक है? एंड वो ऐसे लिखने से नहीं होगा, वो पिक्चराइज करना है, याद रखना है, ऐसे पिक्चराइज करके याद रखना है. एंड सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, आई डोंट नो इफ एनी ऑफ यू हैव सीन द लॉन्गिट्यूड विच passes through Delhi. The longitude which passes through Delhi has many places in the straight line. This is where we have Delhi, this is where we have Shimla, this is where we have Manali, and this is where we have Bhopal, Bangalore, Kanyakumari. थोड़ा बहुत ठीक से मैप देखा तो ये बहुत क्लियरली आपको समझ आ जाता. मैप देखना मतलब यही करना है, बस देखना नहीं है. सो यू हैव टू सी एंड एक्सप्लोर द मैप. इज वेरी वेरी क्लियर. नॉट ओनली दिल्ली, बैंगलोर, भोपाल, कन्याकुमारी, शिमला भी है, मनाली भी है. बैंगलोर, मैंगलोर एंड चेन्नई आर ऑन द सेम लैटिट्यूड. से बहुत सारा मिलेगा. यू हैव टू सी इट एंड एक्सप्लोर इट ऑन डेली बेसिस. तब जाके आपको याद आएगा. ऐसे नहीं कि एक दिन बैठ के मार कर लिया, बार बार देखने हैं. अच्छा अब तो देखा था वहां पर ऐसे है ना. आंसर इज बेंगलुरु. विच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज एन आर्टिफिशियल लेक. दिस इज टोटली फ्रॉम करंट अफेयर्स. उस साल करंट अफेयर्स में न्यूज में था कोडाईकनाल लेक. कोडाईकनाल वाज द आर्टिफिशियल लेक. अदरवाइज भी इसको आंसर कर सकता है, क्योंकि बाकी सारा जो लेक्स है देर ऑल द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड फेमस लेक्स. कोलेरू इज ए लेक विच इज लोकेटेड एट द केजी डेल्टा, नियर टू केजी डेल्टा. लास्ट ईयर भी इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आए हैं. ठीक है. सो इट इज बिटवीन द कृष्णा एंड गोदावरी रिवर. इट्स ए रामसर साइट. रेणुका इज ऑल्सो वेटलैंड, रामसर वेटलैंड इन हिमाचल प्रदेश. ये भी मतलब जो इंपॉर्टेंट रामसर साइट्स है उसको याद रखना है. अभी थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा हो गया, 75 हो गया, तो याद रखना मुश्किल है. तो पहले इस टाइम में तो देर वर ओनली 27. ठीक है. तो बट फिर भी लाइक बेसिक आइडिया इंपॉर्टेंट का याद होना चाहिए. ऐसे लाइक कि सारा पूछ लेंगे. नैनीताल तो पता है, इट इज़ ए ऑल दिस ताल्स इन हिमाचल उत्तराखंड में जो भी ताल है दे आर ऑल नेचुरल. ओके. सो नैनीताल, भीमताल, दे आर ऑल फॉर्म्ड ड्यू टू द नेचुरल प्रोसेस. Man-made lake made by the by the construction, by stopping a river or dams. Okay. आर्टिफिशियली बना हुआ है. कोडाईकनाल इज नियर टू ऊटी. इट्स ए हिल स्टेशन. वहाँ पर एक लेक है, बहुत सुंदर सा लेक है. उस साल न्यूज़ में था, तो इसलिए ये क्वेश्चन आए. अगर ये नहीं है तो भी ये तीनों हटा दो, आपको मिल जाएगा. तीनों नेचुरल है. वेरी फेमस लेक, ये पता होना चाहिए. What about this? We know about Barren Island. So where is this Barren Island? Andaman Nicobar. What is Barren Island known for? Active volcano. South Asia's only active volcano. Asia नहीं, South Asia. South Asia's only active volcano. Barren Island. इसके पास में एक और volcano भी है, Narcondam. Narcondam is a dormant volcano. ठीक है. So Barren is a active volcano. First statement. Barren Island is active volcano located in Indian territory. Is that right? Yes, this is right. Barren Island lays about 140 किलोमीटर ईस्ट ऑफ ग्रेट निकोबार. ऐसा लगता है कि इतना क्यों पूछ रहे हैं 140 किलोमीटर ग्रेट निकोबार. इसलिए थोड़ा बहुत मैप्स को ठीक से देखना पड़ेगा. ओके. तो रफ लोकेशन कहाँ पर कौन सी लोकेशन है ये पता है तो ये बहुत क्लियरली मिल जाएगा. So where is Barren Island? You don't have to know 140 kilometers or not. बैरन आइलैंड कहाँ पर है, ग्रेट निकोबार कहाँ पर है, इसका रफ आइडिया ले लो, आपको मिल जाएगा. ग्रेट निकोबार इज द सदर्न मोस्ट पार्ट ऑफ इट एंड बैरन आइलैंड इज हियर. ओके. सो ऑलमोस्ट ऊपर के पार्ट में है. दिस इज नारकोंडम. राइट. दिस इज नारकोंडम, दिस इज बैरन आइलैंड, दिस इज ग्रेट निकोबार. ग्रेट निकोबार इज वेरी वेरी फार, बहुत दूर है. 140 तो बहुत पास में है. इनफैक्ट इट इज एट 140 किलोमीटर्स फ्रॉम द पोर्ट ब्लेयर. पोर्ट ब्लेयर को हटा दिया, ग्रेट निकोबार डाल दिया बस. ठीक है. तो थोड़ा सा वैसे मैप का आइडिया है तो ये आंसर कर सकते हैं. लॉजिकल. Third, the last time Barren Island volcano erupted was in 1991. It has remained inactive since then. In fact, the last time it erupted when this question was asked in 2018 only. तभी erupt हुआ था. 1991 तक वो dormant था, उसके बाद में erupt हो, उसके बाद में multiple times it has erupted. This statement could have been easily eliminated. अगर ये भी eliminate कर दिया, अगर 140 भी पता नहीं है तो इतना guess नहीं मार सकते, तो ये eliminate कर दो, आपका आंसर मिल जाएगा. ठीक है. So that is why I have not put these questions in a difficult section. अगर आपको पता है तो निकल जाएगा, आंसर निकल जाएगा basically. So this is one section जो मैंने बताया था intermixing होता है. The location and the river. The important locations. Pandharpur. Where is Pandharpur? Maharashtra. It's a very famous pilgrimage site. Important pilgrimage site, important commercial site, industrial location, ये सब आपको पता होना चाहिए roughly. Pandharpur, is it on the river Chandrabhaga? पता नहीं, लेट्स सी। ओके, देखते हैं। तिरुचनापल्ली, इज इट ऑन कावेरी रिवर? ये तो बहुत फेमस है। Kaveri river flows through Tiruchinappalli, and Tiruchinappalli is where we have Srirangam, where Kaveri forms a riverine island. Okay, that is near to Tiruchinappalli only. ठीक है, तो ये तो पता होना चाहिए। पंडारपुर चंद्रभागा तो छोड़ो, ये तो पता होना चाहिए। इसे आंसर मिलेगा, एक ही एलिमिनेट हुआ है। हम्पी मलप्रभा, व्हाट इज मलप्रभा? मलप्रभा इज अ ट्रिब्यूटरी ऑफ कृष्णा रिवर इन कर्नाटका। घटप्रभा, मलप्रभा। Okay, Hampi is not located on the banks of Malaprabha. Hampi is located on the banks of Tungabhadra. Tungabhadra, the very famous river, जिसके ऊपर हम्पी है। Okay, in fact, Malaprabha is also associated with some of the ancient sites. Okay, Badami, Aihole, Pattadakal. This is wrong. 3 हटा दो, आपका आंसर मिल गया। Okay, so Pandarpur has this Chandrabhaga river. This is also the Bhima river. Okay, the Bhima river is Chandrabhaga river. It flows through Pandarpur. This is totally from current affairs. Aliyar, Isapur and Kangswati. So these are the reservoirs which was in news in that year. 2019 में reservoirs थे. For one or the other reason, तीनों reservoir news में था. तीनों में एक भी पता है तो आंसर निकल जाएगा। 3 are totally different. तीनों अलग अलग न्यूज़ के लिए था, अलग अलग जगह में है reservoir. They are not same. 3 different locations in India, 3 different rivers, उसके ऊपर reservoir है। All the 3 were in news. Okay, reservoir is one important area जहाँ से questions आते हैं। Yes, Chenab is also called as Chandrabhaga. Okay, so Bhima is also called as Chandrabhaga in Pandarpur. So ऐसे 2-3 rivers है जो repeat होता है इंडिया में particularly. For example, Banas river. Banas is also tributary of Chambal, and there is also another Banas in Rajasthan, which is a west flowing river. Okay, inland drainage हो जाता है वो भी. Glacier and river. Bandarpunch. Where is Bandarpunch glacier? To the north of Yamunotri. Yamunotri के ऊपर है जहाँ से the river water comes and then joins Yamunotri. वहाँ से यमुना शुरू होगा. This is right. Barashigri. Is it the origin of Chenab river? What is the origin of Chenab river? Commonly you would have read that it is Baralachala. However, if you go towards the north, Baralachala is the region where it flows. यहाँ से usually origin माना जाता है. But उसके पहले Chenab river is made up of 2 rivers. One is Chandra, another one is Baga. इसलिए बहुत सारे लोग कंफ्यूज होके उसको भी गलत मार करके आए थे। ठीक है, सो बट वो दूसरा ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट करने से मिल जाता। ओके, देयर कैन ऑलवेज बी 2 डिफरेंट रिवर्स। ठीक है, रिवर्स में थोड़ा सा ध्यान से करना है, जो आपको पता है उसके हिसाब से ये गलत होना चाहिए, ऐसे नहीं करना है। यू हैव टू बी श्योर अबाउट इट। The Chandrabhaga river is made up of 2 rivers. One is Chandra, another is Bhaga. The confluence is what is called as the Chenab river. The Chandra river originates from Barashigri glacier. Barashigri. Near to Barashigri there is a lake. That is what is Chandratal. Barashigri से नीचे लेक है चंद्रताल, चंद्रताल से ओरिजिन होके आता है चंद्रा रिवर. So Barashigri is right. Bhaga river originates from another lake, Surajtal. Both comes from the Lahol Spiti valley of Himachal. Okay, Lahol Spiti valley of Himachal से आता है. So that is why this is right. Barashigri, Chenab. So let me just see these glaciers. मैं मैप में एक बार दिखा देता हूँ, आपको याद हो जाएगा. Bandarpunch glacier is in Uttarakhand, and that is from where Yamuna originates. Okay, तो यहाँ से यमुना ओरिजिनेट होते हैं, उसके नीचे यमुनोत्री आएगा, फिर वहाँ से यमुना ऐसे आएगा. दिस इज द वैली ऑफ यमुना. ये यमुना का वैली है. ठीक है. सो एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली इट इज कॉल्ड एज बंदर पूंछ. देयर इज अ स्टोरी बिहाइंड दिस. इट इज सेड दैट हनुमान आफ्टर बर्निंग लंका केम हियर टू पुट ऑफ द फायर in his tail. Okay, that is why it is called as Bandar Poonch Glacier. Okay, so what about Barashigiri? Actually वहाँ पर दो ग्लेशियर है. वन इज बराशिगरी, अनदर वन इज छोटा शिगरी. सो बराशिगरी ग्लेशियर इज इन दिस पार्ट. लाहौल स्पीति वैली का इस पार्ट में है बराशिगरी. तो यहाँ से ओरिजिनेट होके आते चंद्रा रिवर पासिंग थ्रू चंदर ताल. ओके, तो वो आएगा, फिर दूसरे सूरज ताल से आएगा द बागा रिवर. बोथ ऑफ देम मर्जेस टुगेदर टू बिकम चंद्रबागा, एंड वो है हमारा चिनाब रिवर. द थर्ड वन इज मिलाम ग्लेशियर. इज इट द ऑरिजिन ऑफ मंदाकिनी? दोनों फेमस है. आइदर यू कैन नो मंदाकिनी कहाँ से आएगा या मिलाम ग्लेशियर कहाँ से है. इससे दो आंसर मिल जाएगा, बिकॉज बोथ आर नॉट करेक्टली मैच्ड. मिलाम इज ए ग्लेशियर टुवर्ड्स द नॉर्थ ऑफ नंदा देवी. दिस इज नंदा देवी. इससे थोड़ा सा ऊपर गया तो आपको मिलाम ग्लेशियर मिलता है. ओके, सो मंदाकिनी कम्स मच हियर. यहाँ से आते हैं केदारनाथ से जो रिवर आता है ना, दैट इज व्हाट इज मंदाकिनी. एंड मंदाकिनी ओरिजिनेट्स फ्रॉम ए लेक कॉल्ड एज चोराबारी लेक. ओके, चोराबारी लेक से आता है मंदाकिनी, यहाँ से आएगा. ओके, दिस इज केदारनाथ. केदारनाथ से फ्लो आएगा, देन मंदाकिनी जॉइंस अलकनंदा. ओके, मिलाम इज मच हियर. मिलाम इज समवेयर हियर. ओके, यहाँ पर along the eastern part, नंदा देवी के पास में है. What about Siachen Glacier, the highest battleground in the world? It is at the tri-junction of the Ladakh part of India, which is under India's control, and the PYQ, and then इस side में China, तीनों के tri-junction में आ जाते हैं. And this is where we have the Siachen Glacier. From the Siachen Glacier, a river originates and flows down. That is the very famous Nubra River. Okay, so Nubra River originates from here, and Nubra River is joined by Shiok River, and this same Nubra River goes and joins the Indus River. Okay, तो यही है the very famous Nubra River Valley, which is also known for the Hundar Sand Dunes. Okay, तो ये जो Nubra River आता है Siachen Glacier से. And what about Zemu Glacier? Zemu Glacier is also very famous glacier. आप ग्लेशियर्स ऑफ इंडिया थोड़ा सा थरोली कर लिया तो ये बहुत इजीली हो जाएगा. Zemu Glacier is present along the Nepal and Sikkim border. That is the region from where, so actually the Teesta river originates. Okay, Teesta, the tributary of Brahmaputra, originates from Zemu Glacier. It is very near to Kanchenjunga. Okay, that is from where Teesta river originates. Okay, coming back here. Bandar Poonch, Yamuna, that is right. Badashikri Chinap, right. Milam Mandakini, wrong. Mandakini comes from Chorabari Lake. Milam is near to Nanda Devi. Siachen Glacier, Nubra is right. Zemu, Manas is wrong. Zemu se aate Teesta. Manas comes from Arunachal, near to Tawang. Then it enters Tibet from, Bhutan. Bhutan se India aega. The answer is 1, 2 and 4. ये देखिए 2019, this is 2020. What is the answer? North of Nubra Valley. ठीक है, नुब्रा वैली जहाँ पर है तो वो आगे जाके मर्ज होता है तो इंडस है ना. दैट एंटायर वैली इज नुब्रा वैली. उससे नॉर्थ है सियाचिन ग्लेशियर. अक्साई चिन इज टुवर्ड्स दैट साइड. ले तो सिटी ईस्ट ऑफ ले इज अगेन अक्साई चिन्नी आएगा. नॉर्थ ऑफ गिलगिट इज इन गिलगिट बाल्टिस्तान. आंसर इज डी. वेरी इजी. So this is totally from current affairs. Okay, these were all the saline lakes. Okay, again currently in news. Okay, so Didwana, कुचमान, सरगोल, खाटू, तो करंट अफेयर्स अलग अलग लेक्स है. सलाइन लेक्स था तो न्यूज़ में था, तो दैट इज़ द आंसर. ओके, न्यूज़ 2021. तो पुराना जो न्यूज़ रिलेटेड अभी याद रखने का ज़रूरी नहीं है. तो लास्ट 2 years में जो लोकेशन न्यूज़ में है वो उसको आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. दैट इज़ फॉर 2024 द लोकेशन विच आर इन न्यूज़ इन 2023 एज वेल एज 2024. सो गंडीकोटा कैनियन ऑफ साउथ इंडिया वॉज क्रिएटेड बाई विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग रिवर्स. बताइए. पेन्नार. So Pennar river while flowing through the eastern Ghats, particularly along the Nallamala hills. So this is Penna River. Penna River originates from the Nandi hills. Okay, it goes from here and it flows near to this part, and this is where it is draining. And while flowing through this part of Eastern Ghats, okay, particularly Nallamala hills को ऐसे break करके जाते हैं, that creates a deep canyon. So that wide and deep canyon is what is called as the Grand Canyon of India, which is also known as the Gandikota Canyon. Okay, तो यहाँ पर जाता है पेन्ना रिवर और पेन्नेरू रिवर, पेन्नार और पेन्नेरू होता है. ठीक है. So the trick is like you have to read these rivers and lakes and reservoirs little bit in detail. Okay, थोड़ा सा some extra information, खाली rivers याद रखने से नहीं होगा, है ना. ये तो clear हो गया. तो the questions on rivers are going to be very very detailed. So ये आंसर बताइए. This is not from current affairs. Even Penneru is also not current affairs. वो भी static part है. Okay, important river है, उसका characteristic आपको पता होना चाहिए. And important peaks तो पता होना ही चाहिए. Namcha Barwa. Where is Namcha Barwa? Great Himalayas. The extent of Great Himalaya is from Nanga Parbat to Namcha Barwa. Nanga Parbat in the west, Namcha Barwa in the east. Namcha Barwa is in Tibet, above Arunachal. Nanda Devi is in Kumaon Himalaya, that is Uttarakhand. This is right. Nokrek कहाँ पर है? नॉर्थ ईस्ट में कहीं पे है, सिक्किम के पास में है, बट सिक्किम में नहीं है. इट्स इन मेघालय. ओके, इट्स इन गारो हिल्स. गारो खासी जैंटिया as part of Garo Hills. Nokrek is there. Nokrek is a biosphere reserve, one of the 18 biosphere reserve, which is also recognized by UNESCO. UNESCO recognized biosphere reserve है ना, तो याद रखना ही है. So Namcha Barwa is not in Gadwal. Gadwal is again the Uttarakhand Himalayas. Nanda Devi is Kumaon, and Nokrek is in the Meghalaya. The answer is B, 2 only. Consider the following pairs: wetlands and location. रेणुका देखा था उधर, earlier we had seen रेणुका. देखो रेणुका आ गया. All of these are रामसर sites. सारा रामसर sites है. इसमें बस आपको पता होना चाहिए कौन सी स्टेट में है. बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में जाने का ज़रूरी नहीं है, तो रफ आइडिया वुड बी सफिशिएंट. रेणुका इज इन हिमाचल. रुद्रसागर लेक, त्रिपुरा. वन ऑफ द वेरी फ्यू रामसर साइट्स ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट. रुद्रसागर इज इन त्रिपुरा. होकेरा इज नॉट इन पंजाब, इट इज इन जेके, जम्मू कश्मीर. होकेरा वेटलैंड, रामसर साइट. शास्तम कोट्टा इज ऑल्सो नॉट इन तमिलनाडु, इट इज इन केरला. ठीक है, आंसर इज बी, ओनली 2 पेयर्स. रामसर लोकेशन जो है 75 रामसर लोकेशन, उसमें इतना भी मेहनत नहीं लगेगा. जो ऑलमोस्ट 45 के आसपास आपको जनरली पता होता ही है. यू स्टडीड जियोग्राफी लिटिल बिट, यू वुड नो. सो थोड़ा बहुत एक्स्ट्रा मेहनत करके तो बाकी सारा जो लेसर नोन रामसर साइट्स है उसको लोकेशन कौन सी स्टेट में है उसको रफली याद रख लेना. बेस्ट है कि टेक ए बिग साइज इंडिया मैप एंड जस्ट मार्क ऑल दीज रामसर साइट्स एंड रिमेंबर बाय स्टेट वाइज. You don't have to remember, you don't have to mug up all the 75. इस साल मेंस में भी क्वेश्चन आया था, रामसर साइट्स, कुछ रामसर साइट्स बताओ कहाँ कहाँ पर है, राइट. सो यू हैव टू हैव दिस रफ आइडिया विच वन इज वेयर. ओके, सो यू शुड जस्ट बी एबल टू रिकॉग्नाइज. ये बताइए रिजर्वायर. रिजर्वायर तो अभी तक तो क्लियर हो चुका है. रिजर्वायर इज ऑल्सो अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट एरिया. घटप्रभा मलप्रभा सुना था, है ना. सेम कृष्णा रिवर का ट्रिब्यूटरी है. घटप्रभा मलप्रभा बोथ आर कृष्णा रिवर ट्रिब्यूटरी, बोथ मर्ज विथ कृष्णा इन कर्नाटका ओनली. तेलंगाना तक जाएगा ही नहीं वहाँ पर रिजर्वायर बनाने के लिए. दैट इज वाई दिस इज रॉन्ग. बोथ घटप्रभा मलप्रभा जॉइंस कृष्णा इन कर्नाटका ओनली. गांधी सागर मध्य प्रदेश शायद हो सकता है. इंदिरा सागर आंध्र प्रदेश. इंदिरा सागर तो पता होना ही चाहिए. दिस इज द लार्जेस्ट रिजर्वायर ऑफ इंडिया. दिस इज ऑन नर्मदा रिवर. MP। ठीक है, तो since the technique of elimination is eliminated in this question, so you should solve all the options। कोशिश करते हैं। ये दो तो गलत है, so either two pairs are correct or only one pair is correct। ठीक है, दो ऑप्शन बचा है, या ये दोनों सही होना चाहिए या दोनों में एक सही होना चाहिए। सारा गलत है ऐसे तो नहीं है, सॉरी, नॉट करेक्टली मैच्ड। हाँ ओनली टू पेयर्स आर नॉट करेक्टली मैच्ड, थ्री पेयर्स आर नॉट करेक्टली मैच्ड, फोर पेयर्स आर नॉट करेक्टली मैच्ड। अभी भी तीन बचा है। तो देखो नॉट ऐड होने से और ट्रिकी हो गया। ओके, सो टू पेयर्स तो करेक्टली मैच्ड है, ये हो सकते हैं। एक और ऐड कर दो, थ्री पेयर करेक्टली नॉट करेक्टली मैच्ड, एक और ऐड कर दो, फोर पेयर करेक्टली नॉट करेक्टली मैच्ड। गांधी सागर इज राइट ऑप्शन। गांधी सागर इज इन मध्य प्रदेश अक्रॉस चंबल रिवर। ओके, चंबल रिवर में है गांधी सागर। So that is one of the important reservoir on this Chambal river. Okay, so जो मध्य प्रदेश राजस्थान के बॉर्डर के पास में आता है, that is the right option। माइथॉन पता होना ही चाहिए आपको। Okay, there are four reservoirs which are constructed in a series along Damodar river under the project of Damodar Valley project। Okay, Damodar Valley project was initiated after the independence, one of the main multi-purpose reservoir, multi-purpose dam project which was initiated after the independence। So it is because of these series of dams we are able to control the flow of water in Damodar, and that is why earlier it was called as the Sorrow of Bengal। It is no more called as the Sorrow of Bengal। It is because of these four reservoirs। उन चारों में एक है माइथॉन, that is not in Chandigarh, सॉरी छत्तीसगढ़। छत्तीसगढ़ तो बहुत पीछे है, तो ये इस तरफ आएगा, या झारखंड में आ सकते हैं या वेस्ट बंगाल में आ सकते हैं। ओके, वेरेवर इट इज, बट डेफिनेटली नॉट इन छत्तीसगढ़। ओके, so the answer is C, only three pairs are correct। So little bit tricky, you can answer only if you know it, difficult to take a guess। थोड़ा सा क्लोजली आ गया तो तब कॉल लेना। So again, these are based on the current as well as mapping। Okay, so you can integrate the current affairs with mapping also। कौन सी स्टेट में न्यूज़ में जो लोकेटेड है तो उसको ऐड कर सकते हैं मैपिंग में। गुजरात हैज़ द लार्जेस्ट सोलर पार्क, ये तो गलत है। राजस्थान में है लार्जेस्ट सोलर पार्क, and that is near to Jodhpur। The location is called as Bhadla, Bhadle। Okay, near Jodhpur। This is not only the largest solar park of India, this is also the largest solar park of the world। Okay, तो ये पता होना चाहिए। उस साल न्यूज़ में था, 2 साल पहले न्यूज़ में था। ओके, सो रफली जो लोकेशन न्यूज़ में है उसको एक मैप में मार्क कर दो। यू टेक ए इंडिया मैप, बिग साइज इंडिया मैप। डोंट टेक द स्मॉल, छोटा छोटा इंडिया मैप आता है ना, मार्केट में मिलता है, उसको मत ले लो। ओके, सो टेक ए प्रॉपर प्रिंट आउट, बिग साइज A4 शीट या बिगर देन दैट इज गोइंग टू बी यूजफुल। यू कैन मेक मल्टीपल थीम्स, इंपॉर्टेंट रिजर्वायर्स इन न्यूज़, इंपॉर्टेंट लेक्स इन न्यूज़, ओके, इंपॉर्टेंट लोकेशंस इन न्यूज़। ऐसे मल्टीपल थीम्स बनाते जाओ तो उसको रिवाइज करना ईजी रहेगा, एज वेल एज टू पिक्चराइज। केरला हैज़ फुल्ली सोलर powered international airport, this is right। what is this? Cochin airport is the first fully solar powered international airport। Goa has the largest floating solar photovoltaic project, this is wrong, this is in Andhra Pradesh। The location is Simhadri in Andhra Pradesh। So there the BHEL, Bharat Heavy Earth Electronics Limited, okay, BHEL Bharat Heavy Electronics Limited, तो BHEL का लोकेशन वहाँ पर एक प्रोजेक्ट बना के वहाँ पर बनाया है। सो दैट इज़ इन आंध्र प्रदेश। सो 1 and 3 are wrong, the answer is B, 2 only। So now Jhelum river passes through Wular Lake, is that right? Yes, Wular Lake is India's largest freshwater lake, है ना। सो कहाँ पर है? जम्मू एंड कश्मीर। सो which is India's largest lake? Chilika Lake, but it is not fresh water, है ना। Jhelum Jhelum river, while flowing through the Kashmir valley, it flows through Ular lake. Okay, this is the very famous Ular lake. This is also Ramsar site. Okay, ऐसे आते हैं. The Jhelum river, it flows through Ular lake. Second, Krishna river directly feeds Koleru lake. Koleru lake हमने तब भी बात किया था. So Koleru lake I had shown, I had discussed there. So this is what is Koleru lake. It is a lake located between Krishna and Godavari. ये है कोलेरू लेक. दिस इज कृष्णा रिवर, दिस इज गोदावरी रिवर. कृष्णा का डेल्टा है, गोदावरी डेल्टा. बट द स्पेशलिटी इज इट बिलोंग्स टू नीदर. नॉर कृष्णा रिवर डायरेक्टली फ्लोज इट, नॉर गोदावरी रिवर डायरेक्टली फ्लोज इट. देर आर इंटरनल चैनल्स विच फीड्स देम, बट इट इज नॉट डायरेक्टली फेड बाई इट. कोलेरू लेक, इट इज इन द लास्ट 15 years, दिस इज द थर्ड टाइम यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड अबाउट कोलेरू लेक. इसके पहले एक बार कोलेरू दिखा था, उसके पहले भी एक बार आया था. एंड व्हाट अबाउट Kanwar Lake? This was also in news because of its Ramsar site. This has been declared as Ramsar site last year in 2022 only. 2023 में एक क्वेश्चन आ गया. ओके, तो जो भी रिसेंटली डिक्लेयर्ड रामसर साइट्स है उसको थोड़ा सा ध्यान से देखना है. ओके, दिस इज कन्वर लेक एंड दिस इज द गंडक रिवर, दिस इज द कोसी रिवर. गंडक रिवर से बहुत दूर है. ठीक है. एंड इन फैक्ट देयर इज अनदर रिवर कॉल्ड एज बूढ़ी गंडक. इट वाज वन ऑफ द ओल्ड चैनल्स ऑफ बूढ़ी गंडक. ओके, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस इज considered as wrong. So Jhelum passes through Ular Lake is right. Krishna directly feeds Koleru Lake is wrong. Meandering of Gandak River forms Kanwar Lake is also wrong. The answer is only one. ठीक है. So which one of the following is the best example of repeated falls in sea level giving rise to present day extensive marshland? What do you mean by marshland? Saline water body, okay, low lying area, sometimes filled with water, sometimes not. Okay, so भितरकनिका mangroves ईस्टर्न कोस्ट में है. So ईस्टर्न कोस्ट में ऐसे कोई लोकेशन है जहाँ पर सी लेवल डिक्रीज होते जा रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो ऐसे तो नहीं है. Marakkanam salt pans, Naupada swamp, run of Kutch. It is very easy, it is run of Kutch. We all know that the northern part of the Gujarat, where we have the run of Kutch, this entire area was earlier filled with water. Okay, now the water level has decreased. Many of the rivers which are originally coming here, now they have been declared as a inland drainage, क्योंकि ये पूरा एरिया ड्राई हुआ है, इसलिए यहाँ पर सबसे बड़ा सा सॉल्ट पैन है. Right? So this area is basically the one where we are observing this decrease. Sorry. Answer is D, run of Kutch. So let's take a quick break and continue after that. So let's continue. So that was all about the locations which we can answer using atlas. Okay, so but you can clearly see that the strict distinction of a mapping location or a Indian physiography location or a drainage system location ऐसे अलग करना मुश्किल है. मतलब एक क्वेश्चन whether it is completely belonging to a mapping part or a physiography of India or drainage system of India, ऐसे अलग करना मुश्किल है क्योंकि so most of the information related to the Indian physical geography can be attempted using the maps. So that's why maps are very handy. Like many questions you can see. So whether it is related to the rivers, lakes, wetlands, or the mountains, okay, overall extent. So that can be linked directly through mapping part. These are few of the questions which we can answer using just notes material or textbook material. Okay, so बिना पढ़ के विदा मैप देखे, बट ऐसा नहीं है कि मैप यूज़ नहीं करना है, यहाँ पर भी यूज़ कर सकते हो. तो यू विद द हेल्प ऑफ मैप्स यू कैन easily answer these also. So this is a question related to physiography of India. Okay, physiography of India is a unit where you study about the physical features of India, right? So just based on the physical features we can say there was one question only, so information based. थोड़ा बहुत conceptual question भी आ सकते हैं, okay, about the formation of Himalayas, okay, so about the formation of peninsular plateau, okay, difference between western Ghats, eastern Ghats, ये थोड़ा सा वैसे वाला question आ सकता है, but अभी तक जो भी question आए हैं they are all related to the maps, mountains, plateaus, plains, passes, glaciers, peaks, है ना, तो ये सब चीज़ें directly आए हैं. There is this one question which we can say the proper part of the physiography describing the mountains. Amarkantak hills are at the confluence of India and Sahyadri. इसका मैप का ज़रूरी है. मैप का ज़रूरी मैप है तो ऑफकोर्स आंसर इजी बहुत इजीली हो जाएगा, बट बिना उसके अलावा भी आंसर हो जाएगा, क्योंकि यू नो विंध्यास, यू नो सह्याद्री. सह्याद्री इज बेसिकली वेस्टर्न घाट्स, ओके, वेस्टर्न घाट्स वेस्टर्न साइड में है, तो इट्स अलोंग द वेस्टर्न साइड ऑफ इंडिया. सो विंध्यास आर अलोंग the central part, okay, this is what is western Ghats and this is what is Vindhyas. दोनों meet होगा ही नहीं. So when both of them don't meet, so you can easily eliminate. First one गलत है. अमरकंटक कहाँ पर है ये ज़रूरी है ही नहीं. You just have to know what are Vindhyas, what are western Ghats, तो उसका आइडिया रखो तो आंसर मिल जाएगा. Okay, the first one is wrong. Biligiri Rangan hills constitute the easternmost part of Satpura range. What is this Biligiri Rangan hills? It's a very famous tiger reserve, BR Hills Tiger Reserve. Okay, तो इसलिए जो नेशनल पार्क टाइगर रिजर्व है उसको भी थोड़ा सा ध्यान से करना है. So try to link it with the mapping part. Okay, BR Hills is a tiger reserve located near to the confluence of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, जहाँ पर नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व है. The region where the eastern Ghats meet the western Ghats, in that region you find this. Okay, so in this location यहाँ पर आपको मिलता है BR Hills Tiger Reserve inside Karnataka. ओके, BR हिल्स टाइगर रिजर्व, तो वो तो सतपुरा तो और अलग ही है, बहुत दूर है. शेषाचलम हिल्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूट द सदर्न मोस्ट पार्ट ऑफ वेस्टर्न घाट्स. वेरी शेषाचलम हमारा तिरुपति है ना, तो जो शेषाचलम बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व इज अराउंड द पालकोंडा रेंज. ओके, सो पुष्पा याद आया, द सेम रीजन शेषाचलम हिल. So that is the region where you find red sanders. That is the region where we have the seven hills, Edukondalavadu. Okay, the god of seven hills, right? And also that is the same region where we have this the very rich diversity of life in the Sheshachalam Biosphere Reserve. पूरा एरिया को एक बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व डिक्लेयर हुआ है. That is Sheshachalam Hills, part of Palkonda Range, not part of Western Ghats. It is part of Eastern Ghats. All the three are wrong. So this is one type of question जहाँ पर आपको शायद मैप का ज़रूरी नहीं पड़ेगा, कंपलसरी तो नहीं बोलूँगा, बट मैप है तो बहुत ईजिली हो जाएगा आंसर. फिजियोग्राफी में जो भी क्वेश्चंस है तो मैप कंपलसरी है, मैप यूज कर लो, आसान से निकल जाएगा. सेम इज विथ ड्रेनेज सिस्टम. ड्रेनेज सिस्टम है ना, अब तो आई विल शो दिस पीपीटी. So in the separate part of drainage system of India, I have included only 3 questions because already we have covered 8 questions under the India mapping. So these 3 questions are like information related to the river. Those 8 questions are the location of river. वो river कहाँ पर located है उसके ऊपर 8 questions है. तो other than that, proper question on the drainage system. Okay, और some of the characteristics, some of the information उसके ऊपर question है, तो इसलिए मैंने अलग किया. But otherwise, again difficult to differentiate. A total of 11 questions from the drainage system you can easily answer using the mapping part. So a simple suggestion, एक बड़ा सा मैप ले लो. Okay, इंडिया मैप जो वॉल मैप मिलता है ना, तो उसको एक और ले लो. तो फिजिकल मैप तो आपकी दीवार के ऊपर लगा ही होगा, तो इस बार इसके ऊपर खाली रिवर्स, लेक्स, वेटलैंड्स एंड रिजर्वायर्स मार्क कर दो. ओके, यूजिंग ए सेपरेट पेन है ना, तो या स्केच पेन जो भी यूज़ करके तो मार्क कर देना. उसमें पक्का 1-2 क्वेश्चन तो बैठ जाता है. Okay, for sure you will have 1 or 2 questions from that, and it is something exercise which will guarantee the returns. Okay, so you do this exercise, returns are guaranteed पक्का. जो भी क्वेश्चन आए हैं तो they are either on the rivers, their tributary, their origin, their states through which they flow, or important national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, right? And few important pilgrimage sites, locations. तो बहुत easily आपको दिख जाएगा. You can easily identify them. ठीक है, so let's go through this question. हाँ, so and they're all most of them are moderate based, and there some of them are information based, some of them are map based, I told you. And these are the topics which have been covered till now in the topic of the drainage system. Major rivers के ऊपर पहले क्वेश्चन आ रहा था, अभी मेजर रिवर्स के ऊपर क्वेश्चन नहीं आ रहा है. And the tributaries, now the tributaries are being targeted, and the important waterfalls उसके ऊपर भी questions है. Lakes and wetlands very important. Okay, around that river or whether it is associated with the river or not, lakes and wetlands आपको important याद रखना है. And important hydropower projects and dams. Okay, reservoirs and dams इसके ऊपर बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. And as well as the glaciers from where a river originates. Okay, तो वो भी important part है. Anyway, glaciers you would cover as part of physiography. So now talking about these questions which are like information based है, exactly map 100% compulsory नहीं है, ऐसा वाला question. With reference to Teesta river, consider the following statement: the source of Teesta river is same as that of Brahmaputra, but it flows through Sikkim. ऐसा है क्या? We know that Brahmaputra comes from near to Manas Sarovar, okay, near to Mount Kailash. So there are two glaciers from where the Brahmaputra originates from here, okay, Chemyangding and Angsi glacier, okay, near to Mount Kailash. There are two glaciers. यहाँ से originate होके पूरा ऐसे flow होके फिर U-turn लेके आएगा, असम enter करेगा, फिर बांग्लादेश चला जाएगा. That is our Brahmaputra. Okay, Teesta, even though it's a tributary of Brahmaputra, so it is originating from Sikkim only. ऐसे आके बांग्लादेश में इसको join करेगा. This is what is Teesta. Teesta comes from Zemu glacier. Zemu glacier हमने देखा था, वही Zemu glacier है. Okay, so it originates from Zemu glacier near Kanchenjunga. So first statement is wrong. Okay, luckily यहाँ पर elimination के लिए chance है, तो ये दोनों eliminate हो गया. दोनों में second गलत सही है, तो second तो सही होना चाहिए. Okay, if you are 100% sure about the first, second is right. River Rangit originates in Sikkim and it is a tributary of River Teesta. This is actually right. River Teesta flows into Bay of Bengal on the border of India and Bangladesh. ये तो गलत है. First of all, it will not flow into Bay of Bengal directly. It will merge with the Jamuna River, which is Brahmaputra in Bangladesh. Okay, second, it will not flow along the border of India and Bangladesh. West Bengal का border के अलावा मतलब पास में तो आएगा ही नहीं. From West Bengal, it directly enters Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, it merges with Brahmaputra. Okay, this is Teesta river. Teesta river directly enters Brahmaputra. The question says that यहाँ पर आएगा, फिर ऐसे जाके यहाँ पर merge होगा. Totally no. ठीक है? Here the answer is 2 only. This is an interesting question. So there is nothing to debate. तब जब question आया था तो पूरा debate हुआ था. With reference to Indus river system, which of the following 4 rivers, 3 of them pour into one of them, which joins the Indus directly. Among the following, which one is such river that joins the Indus directly? हाँ, इन दोनों में टक्कर होता है चिनाब और सतलज के बीच में. फिर यूपीएससी ने बोल दिया सतलज, तो यूपीएससी बोल दिया तो मानना पड़ेगा. Okay, basically, so there are total of 5 rivers. We all know that Indus and the tributaries, 5 rivers. Okay, this is Indus. This is, sorry, यहाँ से आते हैं Indus. This is Jhelum. This is Chenab. And then Ravi. And then comes Bias. And then Satluj. Bias merges with Satluj. And then this is the last river. But the thing is, before Satluj comes here, already Jhelum and Ravi would have merged with Chenab. Jhelum and Ravi would have merged with Chenab, and the combined river is actually Chenab because Chenab is the larger one in terms of water volume. This combined river is Chenab. Between Bias and Satluj, Bias is a small river, Satluj is a very long river, water volume bhi zyada hai, no doubt it is Satluj river. Now both Chenab and Satluj will merge together and this combined river will drain into Indus. The question is, what is the name of this combined river, whether it is Chenab or Satluj? So here comes the question on what basis a main river and tributary is divided. Okay, in some cases the tributary, the main river is the one which is the longest one. In some cases the main river is the one which is the largest one. Okay, so across the world there is no uniformity here. Chenab is largest in volume, Sutlej is longest in terms of length. Okay, so and in fact there is no, we have such many sources, बहुत सारे sources में clearly नहीं दिया है, but ये तो दिया है कि ये जो combined river है ना उसका नाम ही change हो जाता है, ऐसे दिया है, the combined river is called as Panjnad river or it is also called as Sindh Sagar river. ठीक है, but option में ये दोनों भी नहीं है. So you have to choose either Chenab or Sutlej, and UPSC के आंसर के हिसाब से based on the length it is Sutlej. ठीक है. Answer is D, Sutlej. Which of the above rise from Eastern Ghats? मतलब basically rough location आपको पता होना चाहिए. Where is Brahmani river? ब्राह्मणी बैतरनी, ओडिशा, झारखंड, छोटा नागपुर प्लेटू के आसपास में है. ये ईस्टर्न घाट से बहुत दूर है. नागवली रिवर पता नहीं. सुवर्ण रेखा कहाँ पर है? ब्राह्मणी से भी ऊपर है, टुवर्ड्स वेस्ट बंगाल. कम्स फ्रॉम झारखंड, इट फ्लोज अलॉन्ग द बॉर्डर ऑफ ओडिशा एंड वेस्ट बंगाल. सुवर्ण रेखा भी नहीं है. वंशधारा नागवली हो सकता है, इन दोनों को हटा दो. Vansadhara and Nagavali are the two rivers which rises from Eastern Ghats. Okay, so let me just show this once. Along this border comes the Subarnarekha river, which is known for the gold placer deposits. Here comes two rivers, one is Baitarni, another one is Brahmani. Both independently drain into Bay of Bengal. Here comes the Gahir Mata Marine National Park. Here it is Mahanadi. तो दोनों बहुत ऊपर है. महानदी से नीचे से ही होगा ईस्टर्न घाट्स. And here comes the Vansadhara river, which is disputed between Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Nagavali river is also nearby only. Okay, that is also a smaller river. Okay. So that is about the drainage system, and here also it is very clear that the usage of maps is very much advisable. It will save a lot of time and it will make things easier. Climate of India, I told you there are no questions here, and if the questions comes, it is going to be conceptual one about the formation of Indian monsoon, about the impact of the El Nino, La Nina on Indian monsoon. ये सब चीज़ें क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं, अभी तक नहीं आया. Okay, so there has not been any question here. On the soils of India in the last 7 years, there is one question, so that was easy, and आप information मान लो, concept मान लो आपके हिसाब से, क्योंकि the question was simple and direct. Sorry, this one. The black cotton soil of India is formed due to the weathering of. I know you will get confused along the fissure. Okay, leave about the fissure. Volcanic rocks है तो आपको पता होना चाहिए. Black cotton soil is not the result of weathering of granite and schist. This results in the red soil. Weathering of the peninsular rocks, granite and schist rocks, that results in the formation of red soil. Shale and limestone is basically, it is not the black soil. Okay, so shale is sedimentary deposition. तो मैक्सिमम आपको alluvial soil मिल सकता है. Black brown forest soil is again not due to the weathering. It is the volcanic rocks. This is the very famous Deccan traps. The way of eruption, the manner of eruption is called as the fissure eruption. Okay, so ऐसे so gaps के through बाहर निकल के आया था. It came through the magma came out through the gaps which are present over the reunion hotspot. That from small of these gaps के through जब बाहर आता है ना, that kind of eruption is what is called as the fissure eruption. A huge area of the western part of India was covered with this Deccan traps. Over a long period of time, it got weathered and became the black soil. Okay, so that is all about the physical geography of India. Okay, so it is very clear that mapping is compulsory, without which you cannot really do it. So now comes the economic geography part. So talking about the natural resources, there are a total of 11 questions. Most of them, the current theme which we can observe here is information based and current affairs. यही recent trend चल रहा है, तो या information based होगा या current related होगा. Okay, so here we talk about the questions related to the water resource, mineral resource, energy resource. Natural vegetation is also basically part of natural resource only, but I have kept it separate to show the pattern of questions in natural vegetation. Okay, so first let's talk about this. And of course they are moderate to difficult because so current related agar nahi pata hai to nahi pata hai, and if you have the information if you miss you will not be able to answer this. Okay, so see this question. What is the answer for this? And here you can definitely bring correlation with economics, because by the end of the day this is economic geography, right? So try to link it with economics and try to link it with the current affairs. यहाँ पर सोर्स का बहुत कमी है, तो जो ट्रेडिशनल एनसीईआरटी टेक्स्ट बुक्स आर नॉट सफिशिएंट हियर. You need to supplement that with a better source, and in the last session I had suggested a textbook called as Total Geography 10 Standard. Okay, in that second part of Indian geography, so it covers the topics related to resources, agriculture, minerals, industries. You can go through that. However, still that is not sufficient. You have to update with the current affairs. Okay. So coming to this question, it's about the mines. Okay, so in India, state governments do not have the power to auction non-coal mines. Okay, so थोड़ा सा ऐसा confusing लगेगा, थोड़ा सा ठीक से पढ़ो. Non-coal mines का मतलब क्या है? Any mines which are not other than coals. Okay, other than coals includes a wide variety of minerals. Okay, starting from gold, silver, okay, iron, manganese. Of course, that belongs to major minerals है, central government के अंदर ही आएगा. But that non-coal mines also include the minor minerals. Sand भी आएगा, बहुत सारा minor minerals है. That comes under the state government. You cannot say this statement is correct. Okay, few of the non-coal mines can be auctioned by state government. They have the power. First statement is wrong. Second statement, Andhra Pradesh and Jharkhand do not have gold mines. Yes, there are gold mines here. Even though gold mines are less in India. Okay, the very famous KGF was closed in 2001. Okay, but फिर भी, so there are few small mines. Okay, one in Karnataka, Hatti gold mines. Another one is Andhra Pradesh, Anantapur. Okay, so Jharkhand में भी है. Okay, so कुछ location में they are very minor, but they are there. Second statement is also wrong. Rajasthan has iron mines. This is right. The answer is D, 3 only. Okay, so this gives you a very clear indication that you don't have to remember the exact minute location, कहाँ पर gold मिलता है, कहाँ पर copper मिलता है, ये सब चीज़ें याद रटा मारने का ज़रूरी नहीं है. वर्ल्ड लेवल में छोड़ो, इंडिया लेवल में भी ज़रूरी नहीं है. इंडिया लेवल में आपको पता होना चाहिए. सो इन विच स्टेट यू फाइंड विच टाइप ऑफ मिनरल्स. Okay, so you can make a simple list or you can use maps to cover this. Okay, you can roughly make a map of all the iron mines. You have to remember the overall distribution pattern and the states. कौन कौन से स्टेट में आयरन मिलता है, तो एक रफली आइडिया रखो. कर्नाटका, गोवा, महाराष्ट्र, छत्तीसगढ़, झारखंड, ओडिशा, सम पार्ट्स ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश एंड राजस्थान. वही एक बेल्ट है जहाँ पर आयरन मिलता है. ओके, मैंगनीज का एक बेल्ट बनाओ, कॉपर का एक बेल्ट बनाओ. ओके, सो एल्यूमिनियम का एक बेल्ट बनाओ, ऐसे. सो रफ आइडिया स्टेट लेवल में पता होना चाहिए वेदर दिस स्टेट हैज दिस माइन और नॉट. टिल नाउ नो क्वेश्चन हैज बीन आस्क्ड specifically about a location. Okay, whether Raniganj is a coal mine or not, unless it is in a news. Okay, कुछ न्यूज़ में आ गया कोई coal mine, iron mine, तो then you have to remember in detail. Otherwise, don't worry about remembering and mugging up each and every mine. Not required. So next, coal sector was nationalized by the government of India under Indira Gandhi. Is that right? Yes, this was one of the very famous decision taken during that time. Along with the bank's nationalization, coal was also nationalized. Okay, that means the coal mining was barred for private sector. Private sector के लिए पूरा बंद कर दिया था. Right? The statement 1 is right. Now coal blocks are allocated on lottery basis. ये हुआ था issue during the coal scam. Okay, during the coal scam, if you remember 12 years before, there was a huge coal scam and the Supreme Court cancelled all the license and they said auction करो. Auction में क्या होता है? You have to submit your proposal. ओके तो फिर बेस्ड ऑन दैट सबसे जो लोएस्ट बिडर है तो उनके थ्रू होगा, लॉटरी बेसिस में तो नहीं होगा। टिल रिसेंटली इंडिया इंपोर्टेड कोल टू मीट द शॉर्टेजेस ऑफ डोमेस्टिकली, बट इंडिया इज टोटली सेल्फ सफिशिएंट नाउ, ये भी गलत है। Even though India has good reserves of coal, it is a well known fact that India's coal production is not sufficient. At least 25% of coal demand in India is fulfilled through imports. Nearly 25, 75% to fulfill हो जाते, but the problem is not about the availability. The problem is extraction, the management, transportation, cost, ये सब चीज़ें, इसकी वजह से import चलता है। आंसर इज ये वन ओनली। ये सारा इन्फॉर्मेशन कहाँ पर मिलेगा? ये करंट रिलेटेड है, थोड़ा बहुत इकोनॉमिक सर्वे से लेना पड़ेगा और करंट अफेयर से लेना पड़ेगा। विथ रेफरेंस टू मैनेजमेंट ऑफ माइनर मिनरल्स इन इंडिया, मेजर मिनरल माइनर मिनरल का डिफरेंस पता है? व्हाट इज ए मेजर मिनरल? मेजर मिनरल इज अ मिनरल विच कम्स अंडर द यूनियन लिस्ट, माइनर मिनरल कम्स अंडर द स्टेट लिस्ट। यूनियन लिस्ट मतलब सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का है वो, स्टेट लिस्ट मतलब स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का है। ठीक है, दैट इज द बेसिक आइडिया, मेजर मिनरल एंड माइनर मिनरल। मोस्ट ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट मिनरल्स आर मेजर मिनरल्स, सैंड इज ए माइनर मिनरल। ओके, उसका एक लिस्ट है, थोड़ा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट माइनर मिनरल्स है, उसको याद रखो। बेटर है कि मेजर मिनरल्स को याद रखो, बाकी सारा माइनर मिनरल हो जाता है। ठीक है, sand is a minor mineral according to the prevailing law in the country. Most important minor mineral है sand, because sand is very very prevalent, that is sand mining, illegal sand mining is very very prevalent in almost all the parts of the country. इसका रूल्स तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ही बनाते एंड उसका हेडेक आगे जाके आपके ऊपर ही आने वाला है। ओके, जब आप आईएएस बनोगे तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर्स में तो जो डीसी आईएएस होता है ना, उन्हीं के ऊपर है सैंड माइनिंग कंट्रोल करने का। ओके, सो बहुत सारे जगह में तो इसी की वजह से तो आईएएस ऑफिसर, they are under the pressure, they are under the threat. Okay, must have heard about these stories. State governments have the power to grant mining leases of minor mineral, but the powers of regarding the formation of rules related to the grant of minerals lie with the central government. ऐसा क्यों करेंगे बताओ? मतलब स्टेटमेंट बोल रहे हैं कि द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैज द पावर टू ग्रांट द लीज, मतलब स्टेट गवर्नमेंट दे सकते हैं, कौन कितना एक्सटेंड कर सकते हैं वो डिसाइड कर सकते हैं, बट कैसे देना है वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट बताएंगे। इतना तो स्ट्रिक्ट कंट्रोल नहीं है हमारा, थोड़ा बहुत क्वाजी फेडरल है। सो इफ इट इज गिवन टू द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, दे आर फ्री टू मेक रूल्स रिगार्डिंग द ऑक्शन, राइट? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट विल नॉट डिक्टेट द टर्म्स ऑफ ऑक्शन। जब स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का बन गया, व्हाई वुड इट डिक्टेट द टर्म्स ऑफ ऑक्शन? स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैव द पावर टू फ्रेम रूल्स टू प्रिवेंट इलीगल माइनिंग ऑफ माइनर मिनरल, दिस इज राइट। एनी इलीगल माइनिंग को कंट्रोल करने का हेडेक स्टेट के ऊपर ही है। ओके, सो the power to control the illegal mining and there all the responsibility lies with the state. The answer is 1 and 3 only. Okay, so I hope you guys are observing the nature of questions. Traditionally लोग यही बैठ के रट्टा मारते हैं कहाँ पर कौन सा मिनरल मिलता है, फिर और कुछ पढ़ते ही नहीं है। तो यहाँ पर क्वेश्चंस ही अलग आ रहे हैं। Okay, try to follow the pattern. So it's more about the connection with the current affairs and what exactly is happening. Consider the following minerals, which of them are designated as major mineral? दोबारा आ गया देखो major minor. Little bit tricky, but थोड़ा सा कोशिश करके निकाल सकते हैं। You have to know the important ores and their mineral, कौन सा ore का कौन सा mineral है ये पता होना चाहिए, right? Chromite is a ore of chromium. Chromium is a important mineral, it is a major mineral. Chromium तो पता है, chromium दो ही ऑप्शन में है, ये दोनों गलत है। So it is bentonite and chromite or chromite, kyanite and sillimanite. Bentonite is a minor mineral which was earlier a major mineral, and it was in the year 2015 or 16 this was declassified as a minor mineral. इसीलिए बेंटोनाइट दिया है, थोड़ा बहुत ऐसे न्यूज़ में आया था। तो मेजर माइनर में जो मेजर मतलब जो चेंज हुआ था दैट वाज बेंटोनाइट। इट वाज अर्लियर ए मेजर मिनरल, इट वाज डीक्लासिफाइड, उसको हटा दो, आपको हो गया यहाँ पर बेंटोनाइट, क्यानाइट एंड सिल्मिनाइट। सो यहाँ पर अगर थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया है कैनाइट एंड सिल्मिनाइट क्या है, इससे भी आंसर निकल जाएगा. कैनाइट एंड सिल्मिनाइट बोथ आर द फॉर्म्स ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम. बॉक्साइड जो कॉमनली सुनता है, ऐसा ही है ये भी एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड का ही है. इट्स एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड, सॉरी एल्यूमिनियम सिलिकेट है. इसका आंसर बताइए. वेस्ट टेक्सास इंटरमीडिएट समटाइम्स फाउंड इन न्यूज, टोटली फ्रॉम करंट अफेयर्स. It's a crude oil. There are different types of crude oils, different locations. For example, Brent is from North Sea. North Sea से आते हैं Brent. West Texas Intermediate comes from the Gulf of Mexico. One of the largest areas from which these crude oil is extracted. It is crude oil. This one. The Global Ocean Commission grants license for seabed exploration and mining in international waters. इंटरनेशनल वाटर्स के लिए एक अलग सा कन्वेंशन है, दैट इज अवर यूएन क्लॉज, एंड उसके अंदर एक बॉडी है इंटरनेशनल सीबेड अथॉरिटी. इट इज द इंटरनेशनल सीबेड अथॉरिटी विच ग्रांट्स द लाइसेंस. द फर्स्ट वन इज रॉन्ग एंड यू गॉट योर आंसर. India has received license for seabed mining exploration in international water, that is the Central Indian Ocean Basin, for exploration of polymetallic nodules. रेयर अर्थ मिनरल्स आर प्रेजेंट ऑन सी फ्लोर इन इंटरनेशनल वाटर. यस, बहुत सारा मिनरल्स है इंक्लूडिंग रेयर अर्थ, सब कुछ मिलेगा सी फ्लोर में, बट निकालना ही मुश्किल वाला बात है. सो दिस इज फॉर वाटर रिसोर्स. वाटर रिसोर्स के ऊपर भी प्रीलिम्स में क्वेश्चन आने लगा है, मेंस में तो होगा ही होगा, अभी प्रीलिम्स में भी हो रहा है. बताइए व्हाट इज द आंसर हियर. So if you have some idea about the water resources, it is very easy to answer this. But the overall water availability of the world, whatever the water which is present in the world, in that 97% is saline. Only 3% is fresh water. In that 3%, जो अर्थ के ऊपर फ्रेश वाटर 3% है ना, in that 2/3 is locked in ice caps. पोलर रीजन, ग्लेशियर्स, हर जगह में 2/3 वहीं पे है. Around 30% is in ground. Surface water is just 0.3%. That includes all the waters in the rivers, lakes, wetlands, सब मिला के surface में बहुत बहुत कम है. In that also lakes account for 87%, swamps 11%, rivers very very minimal, बहुत बहुत कम है. ओके, तो ऐसे भी नहीं है कि बहुत क्लोज है, थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया से ये आंसर निकल जाएगा. सबसे ज्यादा फ्रेश वाटर आइस कैप्स में है. 2/3 of the water is in ice caps. That is the threat faced due to global warming. Because of the melting of these glaciers, most of this fresh water will get merged with the ocean and there will be huge scarcity of fresh water. Sea level will also rise. इतना ज़्यादा fresh water है वहाँ पर. Ground water तो most of it is inaccessible. Okay, only some part is accessible. जो accessible है surface water है वो भी बहुत limited है. Lakes carry 87% of all the fresh water. So then comes swamps and then rivers. So अभी बताइए. The amount of water in rivers and lakes is more than that of groundwater. Rivers and lakes छोड़ो, पूरा surface water भी मिलाए तो groundwater से बहुत कम है ना. Surface water is just 0.3%, groundwater is 30%. The first statement is wrong. The amount of water in polar ice caps and glacier is more than the amount of groundwater. This is right. Answer is simple and direct. B. With reference to India, consider the following statement. Monazite is a source of rare earth. Yes. So you must have heard about monazite sand, which is found along the Kerala beach में मिलता है ना. That is a rare earth. Yes, it is a source of rare earth as well as thorium. उसमें बहुत सारे कुछ मिलता है. It contains thorium. This is also right. Monazite occurs naturally in the entire Indian coast sand. If you understand the basic nature of Indian coast, you can easily answer this. There are two types of coast. One is erosional coast, another one is deposition coast. Wherever there is deposition, there only you will find the sand accumulation. Monazite sand is present only along the depositional coast. Erosional coast के पास में मिलता ही नहीं है. Which coast is erosional coast? Eastern coast is erosional coast. Kerala coast is also, sorry, Eastern coast is depositional coast. Kerala coast is also depositional coast. जहाँ पर ये depositional coast है वहाँ पर ही मिलता है monazite sand. हर जगह में नहीं मिलता है. In India, government bodies only can process and export monazite. Yes, this is also right. There is a body called as Indian Rare Earth Limited. This is the only body which is authorized to extract this. बहुत जगह में ये illegally निकाल के export भी कर रहे हैं लोग. Totally illegal. This is right. Answer is 1, 2 and 4 only. 3 निकाल दो आपको आंसर आ जाएगा. है ना? इस साल का जो स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आया था तो बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन लगता है, बहुत इजीली आंसर निकल जाएगा इसका. ओके, जस्ट रीड द स्टेटमेंट्स. स्टेटमेंट 1, डिस्पाइट हैविंग यूरेनियम डिपॉजिट्स इंडिया डिपेंड्स ऑन कोल फॉर मोस्ट ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन. यूरेनियम का ओवरऑल अवेलेबिलिटी बहुत कम है. इट इज़ लेस देन 5%. मतलब ओवरऑल एनर्जी कंजम्पशन में लेस देन 5% कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है. कोल का नियरली 50%. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कम्स फ्रॉम कोल ओनली. यूरेनियम एनरिच्ड टू द एक्सटेंट ऑफ एटलीस्ट 60% इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. थोड़ा बहुत न्यूक्लियर टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में बेसिक आइडिया है तो भी ये गलत है. 60% इज नॉट एनरिच्ड. ओके, सो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन के लिए बहुत मिनिमल एनरिचमेंट होता है. 60% कर दिया तो न्यूक्लियर बम बना सकते हैं. ठीक है, दैट इज हाई एनरिच्ड. हाई एनरिच इज यूज्ड इन न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स. लो एनरिच्ड इज यूज्ड इन न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर्स. 60% तो जरूरी है ही नहीं है. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट. आंसर इज सी. Ilmenite and rutile abundantly available in the coastal tracts of India are the rich sources of titanium. टाइटेनियम का सोर्सेस है. तो ये बेसिक ओर एंड देयर मिनरल्स यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. तो वहाँ से ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो जाएगा. ग्राउंड वाटर. ओके, वाटर रिलेटेड मैंने ऑलरेडी बताया. वाटर रिलेटेड तो क्वेश्चन होता ही है. एक रिपोर्ट करंट रिलेटेड न्यूज़ में आ गया तो उसके थ्रू आप ये आंसर कर सकते हैं. एंड सम जनरल आइडिया अबाउट द ओवरऑल कंजम्पशन ऑफ वाटर, ओवरऑल यूजेज ऑफ वाटर, उससे भी ये निकल सकते हैं. मैं बताता हूँ कैसे. स्टेटमेंट 1, अकॉर्डिंग टू द यूएन्स वर्ल्ड वाटर डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट, इंडिया एक्सट्रैक्ट्स मोर देन क्वार्टर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स ग्राउंड वाटर विड्रॉल ईच ईयर. टेक्निकल है, सही नहीं, गलत है, पता नहीं, दोनों हो सकता है. ओके, लेट्स कीप इट असाइड. सेकंड वन, इंडिया नीड्स टू एक्सट्रैक्ट मोर देन क्वार्टर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स ग्राउंड वाटर ईच ईयर to satisfy drinking water and sanitation needs of almost 18% of the world's population living in territory. The statement looks a little bit funny, so why I'll tell you. India needs to extract more than the quarter of the world's groundwater each year. ये कहीं पे पढ़ा है? यहीं पे पढ़ा है. है ना? मतलब अगर सेकंड स्टेटमेंट सही है तो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट भी सही हो जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली. यू हैव टू चेक वेदर द सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इज राइट और रॉन्ग. है ना? अगर सेकंड स्टेटमेंट गलत है तो मे बी फर्स्ट पार्ट इज राइट एंड सेकंड स्टेटमेंट का सेकंड पार्ट इज रॉन्ग. दैट मीन्स यू हैव टू सी ओनली द सेकंड स्टेटमेंट सेकंड पार्ट. What is the second statement, second part? To satisfy the drinking water needs of almost 18% of the world population living in its territory. मतलब इतना ज़्यादा पानी जो extract होता है ना, that is for drinking water and sanitation needs. India needs to extract more than a quarter of the world's groundwater each year just to satisfy this drinking water source. अगर ground water resources के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया है आपको, ग्राउंड वाटर, सरफेस वाटर कहाँ पर सबसे ज़्यादा यूटिलाइजेशन होता है, सो यू कैन ईजिली आंसर दिस. मोर देन 90% ऑफ बोथ सरफेस वाटर एज वेल एज ग्राउंड वाटर गोज फॉर एग्रीकल्चर. इंडस्ट्रीज का यूटिलाइजेशन भी बहुत कम है। सरफेस वाटर में 90% के आसपास एग्रीकल्चर के लिए जाएगा, रेस्ट 10% इज यूज्ड फॉर बोथ डोमेस्टिक हाउस होल्ड एज वेल एज इंडस्ट्री। Same is the case with groundwater also. More than 90% goes for agriculture, only less than 10% is used for the domestic household as well as industries. Industries को हम इतना blame करते हैं ना, वो extraction के लिए नहीं है, वो pollution के लिए। Extraction सबसे ज़्यादा होता है agriculture के लिए। So it's not for drinking water and sanitation. Second statement is wrong. If second statement is wrong, answer is C. ठीक है, फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज राइट। ऑलमोस्ट 26% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स ग्राउंड वाटर इज एक्सट्रैक्टेड बाय इंडिया ओनली। So now the question comes on natural vegetation. Natural vegetation, directly there are 4 questions. मतलब you can expect at least 1 question in vegetation related. Okay, the overall questions are, some of them are information based, some of them are concept based. Concept based कैसे हो सकते हैं vegetation में? Their interconnection with the climate, precipitation, soil condition, regional distribution, उसके ऊपर निकाल सकते हैं। ठीक है, so let's see the questions related to natural vegetation. Which of the following leaf modification occur in desert area to inhibit water loss? That is, it is talking about the xerophytic vegetation. When you study about the different types of vegetation in India as well as world, you will study about xerophytic vegetation or desert vegetation. Tropical thorn vegetation बोलते हैं। उसमें क्या क्या modification होता है? Hard and waxy leaves to stop evapotranspiration, tiny leaves to loss, वो जो evaporation loss कम करने के लिए, thorns instead of leaves. डेजर्ट में ये सब तो मिलता ही है। यू कैन रीड अबाउट देम, नेचुरल वेजिटेशन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स पढ़ते समय वो तो मिल जाएगा। एंड दिस इज टोटली फ्रॉम करंट अफेयर्स, स्टेट ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट रिपोर्ट। ओके, सो एवरी 2 years, once in 2 years, you will have the state of the forest report. ओके, सो जब भी आएगा उसका हाईलाइट्स आपको पढ़ना ही है, कौन से स्टेट में ज़्यादा है, कौन से स्टेट में कम है, तो वो पूरा समरी निकालना है। तो 2019 का रिपोर्ट के ऊपर डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आया था। ठीक है, इनफैक्ट स्टेट ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट रिपोर्ट के ऊपर मेंस में भी डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन आए हैं। तो ओवरऑल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बताओ ऐसे। तो उस टाइम के हिसाब से तो आंसर हियर वाज, सो सबसे हाईएस्ट तो आपका छत्तीसगढ़ में ही होगा। ओके, सो छत्तीसगढ़ शुड बी देयर इन द लास्ट। ओके, सबसे इनमें से सबसे लोएस्ट होता है महाराष्ट्र। आंसर इज सी। ओके, दैट टाइम डोंट सी अबाउट दिस वन। तो अभी प्रेजेंट का एक बार देखना है। तो इफ before your prelims the state of the forest report gets updated, you have to see the updated one. ठीक है, what about this? Leaf litter decomposes faster than any other biome. कहीं पे देखा था हमने, है ना? वही जो लेटराइट सॉइल का जो क्वेश्चन था बायोजियोग्राफी में, वही देखो स्टेटमेंट। Leaf litter decomposes faster than any other biome, result in the soil surface often almost bare apart from trees. Vegetation largely composed of plants that reach up to the canopy by climbing the trees growing epiphytes rooted. यही बात हो रही है ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट का, है ना? सिंपल। वेयर यू फाइंड दिस लेटराइट सॉइल, ये इस साल का क्वेश्चन है। तो यू नीड टू रिमेंबर फ्यू ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट ट्रीज एंड देयर ओवरऑल टाइप ऑफ वेजिटेशन, ये तो आपको पता होना ही चाहिए। टेक्टोना ग्रैंडिस इज बेसिकली टीक एंड jackfruit. Basically, on what basis you are saying, you are deciding whether it is deciduous or evergreen, whether it will shed the leaf or not. Okay, so deciduous trees will shed the leaves in a particular season. Evergreen will remain green throughout the year, and there the shedding happens continuously होता है. Jackfruit is evergreen in nature. Okay, jackfruit is evergreen in nature. Mawa and teak are deciduous in nature. Northern plains में बहुत है, तो mawa and teak तो है, तो jackfruit तो नहीं है. Answer is only 2. Okay, so that is the overall pattern of questions in vegetation. Okay, the overall just is like try to give importance to these trees and their overall location and the conditions in which the particular type of forest grows. And in addition to that, the current related aspects of overall state of the forest report. Agriculture is one area where you have to link it with economics as well as current affairs, दोनों से link करना है. And यहाँ पर जो सबसे important आपके लिए होगा economic survey. Okay, few of the questions are directly from that. You have to see the overall pattern, overall variation in the trend, crop production, crop area, exporter, importer, जो भी change हुआ है तो recent time में ये सारा आपको देखना ही है. Okay, you have to see all of this. Okay, many questions are directly from that. Okay, so for example this, with reference to cultivation of kharif crops in the last 5 years, consider the following statements. Kharif crop क्या होता है? Summer. Okay, monsoon crops are called as kharif crops. Okay, so area under rice cultivation is the highest. Okay, so yes, kharif crop में सबसे highest तो rice ही होता है because India is a large rice eating country. Not only that they are rice eating country, they are also produce a large quantity of rice. ठीक है, so the first one is right. Most important kharif crop is rice only. Area under the cultivation of jowar is more than that of oilseeds. Is that right? No. Jowar is one of the millets. Oilseed includes a large variety of groups. Okay, so एक पर्टिकुलर जोवार मिलेट से तो उसका ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. ये सब तो ऐसे कंक्लूड करना मुश्किल है. यू नीड टू रेफर टू द इकोनॉमिक सर्वे. इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में बहुत क्लियरली दिया है कौन सा मतलब इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर डिक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर, वो एक बार देखना पड़ेगा आपको. एरिया अंडर कॉटन कल्टिवेशन इज मोर देन दैट ऑफ शुगर केन. ओके, दिस इज यस. Okay, cotton cultivation is more because cotton is grown not only in black soil, it is also grown in alluvial soil also. Alluvial soil में भी आएगा. Overall area is higher. Area under sugarcane cultivation has steadily decreased. No, steadily decreased तो नहीं हुआ है वो. That has it is थोड़ा सा variation है. Economic survey में आपको ये सब graph मिल जाता है. The answer is 1 and 3 only. 2020 we have this question. This is about pulses. When you study about pulses, you will see the different types of pulses. So India produces large number of pulses. Basically pulses से produce होते हैं दाल. दाल is a processed form of this, the pulse. So among all the different pulses, the largest produced pulse in India is chickpea. So what is this chickpea? छोले. Okay, so or it is also called as चना, है ना. तो जो होल को छोले बोलते हैं उसको तोड़ दो, चना मिल जाएगा. So that is more than 40%. सबसे ज़्यादा तो वही है. उससे आंसर निकल जाएगा. ग्रीन ग्राम अकाउंट्स फॉर नियरली हाफ ऑफ इट्स पल्स प्रोडक्शन. ये गलत है. आंसर इज 1 ओनली. ठीक है. ब्लैक ग्राम कैन बी कल्टिवेटेड एज बोथ खरीफ एंड रबी. ब्लैक ग्राम इज उड़द, है ना. उड़द इज यूज्ड फॉर मेकिंग इडली डोसा. So that is there in both south as well as north. In south there is no distinction of kharif and rabi. That means it can be grown in all the season. दोनों में होगा. In the last 3 decades, while the production of kharif pulses has increased, the production of rabi pulses has decreased. ऐसे कुछ नहीं हुआ है, तो ये भी गलत है. तो answer is only 1. हाँ, this is easier in comparison. Cropping conditions में ये आएगा. Okay, when you talk about the cropping conditions, you have to remember the temperature, precipitation, soil condition for major crops. वो याद रखना है. इससे निकल जाएगा. 50 to 100 centimeters of rainfall, you cannot grow sugarcane, you cannot grow jute, you cannot grow tea. You can grow only cotton. It is a low rainfall crop. These 3 are high rainfall crop. And more than 210 frost-free days से ये निकल जाएगा. There are only very few crops which are not grown in the northern plains. Okay, so particularly जो frost region होता है तो वहाँ पर ये cotton नहीं आएगा. Particularly this is it should be frost free. पाम ऑयल रिसेंटली न्यूज़ में था, उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन है. पाम ऑयल जो इंडिया बहुत सारा पाम ऑयल इंपोर्ट करता है ना, तो उस कंटेक्स्ट में. पाम ऑयल ट्री इज नेटिव टू साउथ ईस्ट एशिया. साउथ ईस्ट एशिया में बहुत सारा पाम ऑयल प्लांटेशन है, कल्टिवेशन है, बट दैट इज़ वेयर मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स मेड मिस्टेक. इट इज़ नॉट नेटिव. नेटिव मीन्स कहाँ से ओरिजिन हुआ था. कोई भी स्पीशीज़ एक जगह से ही ओरिजिन होता है. पाम ऑयल स्पीशीज ओरिजिनेटेड फ्रॉम अफ्रीका. अफ्रीका से आया था. इट इज़ नॉट नेटिव टू साउथ ईस्ट एशिया. इट वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड लेटर. ठीक है. पाम ऑयल इज रॉ मटेरियल यूज फॉर इंडस्ट्रीज इन लिपस्टिक, बहुत जगह में यूज होते हैं. वन ऑफ द दैट इज वाई दे आर वाइडली यूज्ड. ओके, फ्रॉम ईटरी से लेके केमिकल से लेके इंडस्ट्री से बहुत जगह में पाम ऑयल यूज होता है. पाम ऑयल कैन बी यूज टू प्रोड्यूस बायोडीजल, यस दैट इज ऑल्सो राइट. बहुत कुछ बना सकते हैं, बायोडीजल भी बना सकते हैं, क्यों नहीं. लीस्ट वाटर एफिशिएंट क्रॉप मतलब वेरी वाटर इंटेंसिव क्रॉप, ये है हमारा शुगर केन. शुगर केन, सनफ्लावर भी है बट शुगर केन बहुत ज़्यादा है. शुगर केन इज हाईली वाटर इंटेंसिव एज वेल एज राइस भी है. Which of the following is most important anthropogenic source of both methane and nitrous oxide? Methane क्यों आता है? Because of the flood irrigation method of growing rice. Okay, the roots undergoes decomposition. Root nodes undergo decomposition that releases methane. One of the largest source of methane release is from rice fields. Along with that, they use a huge quantity of fertilizer. उसके वजह से nitrogenous compounds भी निकल के आ जाएगा. That is rice. This was a little bit tricky question because the question says how many of the above are generally known as tea producing states. मतलब ये generally known as tea producing state का मतलब थोड़ा सा tricky है. इसका मतलब क्या है, whether they are major producers और यहाँ पर होता है या नहीं होता है. अगर होगा ही नहीं ऐसे माना तो मुश्किल है, बिकॉज मेनी स्टेट्स हैव दिस टी गार्डन्स. इवन दो द नॉर्थ ईस्ट इज नोन फॉर टी गार्डन्स. असम टी गार्डन्स है बट मोस्ट ऑफ द नॉर्थ ईस्ट आल्सो हैव टी गार्डन्स. इवन इन देर आर सर्टेन पार्ट्स ऑफ हिमाचल एंड उत्तराखंड आल्सो देर आर टी गार्डन्स. वेस्टर्न घाट्स में टी गार्डन्स है, ईस्टर्न घाट्स में भी टी गार्डन्स है. So it is difficult to come to conclusion whether the question is about the major producers or not. However, the final answer came out to be all four states. That means the UPSC is just asking यहाँ पर टी मिलेगा या नहीं. Okay, Assam तो सबको पता है, Assam ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. त्रिपुरा, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न मोस्ट स्टेट दे हैव टी गार्डन्स. हिमाचल प्रदेश देर आर फ्यू पार्ट्स. ओके, सो कांगड़ा टी इज फेमस. ठीक है, केरला में है, वेस्टर्न घाट्स में है. आंध्र प्रदेश ईस्टर्न घाट्स में देर आर सर्टेन पार्ट्स वेयर देर इज प्रोडक्शन ऑफ टी. ऑल द फोर इज आंसर. So this is 2023 and by the first look ऐसे लगता है कि ये सही है गलत है, थोड़ा सा information based है. So again you can refer to economic survey for this kind. India has more arable area than China. Arable area means cultivable land. Yes, this is right. India का overall arable area है around 156 million hectares. चाइना का है 120. अरेबल एरिया, क्योंकि चाइना का आधे से ज़्यादा डेजर्ट एरिया है. ओके, डेजर्ट एरिया, माउंटेन एरिया, देयर इज नॉट मच ऑफ अरेबल एरिया. ओके, द फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज राइट. द प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ इरीगेटेड एरिया इज मोर इन इंडिया एज कम्पेयर टू चाइना. दिस इज ऑल्सो राइट. इंडिया का इरीगेशन है अराउंड 48%, चाइना का है 41%. एवरेज प्रोडक्टिविटी पर हेक्टेयर इन इंडिया एग्रीकल्चर इज हायर दैन दैट ऑफ चाइना. ये गलत है. हमारा प्रोडक्टिविटी कम है बिकॉज ऑफ द वेरियस इश्यूज इन एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर. Okay, so low production level, so overall the farm size is very low, credit availability नहीं है, बहुत सारे issues है, marketing issues है, ये सब चीज़ें, उसकी वजह से productivity बहुत कम है चाइना की comparison में. Answer is only 2. ठीक है, so that is about agriculture. Industry related questions का trend बता देता हूँ. देखो, there were total 8 questions of agriculture. Majorly moderate to difficult, and as I told you they are current related. Industry related there are total of 5 questions. Again they are totally related to information and current affairs. Moderate to difficulty होने वाले. So because either you know it or you don't know it. So I put this question in industry because it's about the steel plant. Steel, iron and steel industry का one of the most important byproduct is steel slag. Okay, after removing all the impurities, when you extract iron, whatever is left, steel बनने के बाद में जो leftover material होता है ना, that is what is called as steel slag. And steel slag is one of the important raw material for cement industry. Steel slag use करके cement industry बनता है. In many of the locations, cement industries are located just next to iron and steel industry. Okay, अगर ये है तो तीनों सही हो सकते हैं, यही हो गया. Construction of base road, मतलब जो भी मटेरियल है, ऑफ कोर्स ऑल ऑफ दिस कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर लाइंग दिस बेस. इसके ऊपर कंक्रीट या जो भी asphalt जो भी बना सकते हैं उसके ऊपर लेयर बनेगा. Improvement of agriculture soil is also one of the usage for this steel slag. जो waste material जैसे आएगा उसको use करता है. All of these are correct. हाँ, this is related to the fertilizer industry. एंड इफ़ यू नो इवन मतलब थोड़ा बहुत इकोनॉमिक्स का भी यहाँ पर यूज़ है, तो आप यहाँ पर यूज़ कर सकते हैं वो वाला नॉलेज. द रिटेल प्राइस ऑफ केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर इज मार्केट ड्रिवन बट नॉट एडमिनिस्ट्रेड बाय गवर्नमेंट. ये तो गलत है, बिकॉज फ्यू ऑफ द फर्टिलाइजर्स आर नॉट completely market driven. There is still subsidy and the government still control the price of fertilizer. एंड ये इकोनॉमिक्स रिलेटेड है, मैं भी मानता हूँ, ठीक है. बट ये दोनों हमारा जो ज्योग्राफी रिलेटेड है, वेयर वी टॉक अबाउट द पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल्स यूज्ड. So fertilizer में there are 3-4 types of fertilizer: nitrogenous fertilizer, phosphatic fertilizer, sulfurous fertilizers and all. Nitrogenous fertilizer के लिए सबसे ज़्यादा important raw material है ammonia, that is produced from natural gas. Okay, ये सही है. Sulfur is also again extracted as a byproduct of refinery. जब petroleum refinery का जो byproduct निकलता है sulfuric acid, that is used in the manufacturing of phosphoric acid fertilizer. Okay, the answer is D. So answer is B. So other than this, coal based thermal power plant के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आया है, तो you should have rough idea of few important locations where these thermal power plants, nuclear power plants कहाँ पर कैसे located है, थोड़ा सा देख लो. And this is again totally related to current affairs, because there were some issues related to the establishment of these thermal power plants in the water stressed areas. जहाँ पर water stressed areas में ये thermal power plant था, तो उसके चक्कर में none of them use sea water. ये गलत है, because there are many thermal power plants that are located along the coastal region and they definitely use sea water. None of them is set up in water stressed district. ये भी गलत है. इसी के वजह से न्यूज़ में था, few of them were in the water stressed district because they use good amount of water. None of them are privately owned. ये भी गलत है. None of them are correct. And along with that, transportation is also one of the part of this topic, where you have to talk about the roadways, railways, highways, expressways, airports, and most importantly ports. Presently there are total of 12 major ports and many minor ports. 12 major ports आपको पता होना चाहिए, and some important information about them. ठीक है, उसके बेसिस में ये क्वेश्चन है. कामराजर पोर्ट इज सेम एज एन्नोर पोर्ट विच इज लोकेटेड इन तमिलनाडु. दिस इज द फर्स्ट मेजर पोर्ट रजिस्टर्ड एज कंपनी इन इंडिया. ओके, एन्नोर पोर्ट जो चेन्नई के पास में है, मद्रास पोर्ट के ऊपर है चेन्नई पोर्ट. सो सॉरी, एन्नोर पोर्ट, दैट इज द सेम कामराजर पोर्ट. मुंद्रा पोर्ट इज लार्जेस्ट प्राइवेटली ओन्ड पोर्ट इन इंडिया. ये तो सबको पता है. ओके, इट इज ओन्ड बाई अदानी ग्रुप, है ना. सो दैट इज मुंद्रा पोर्ट. विशाखापट्टनम इज नॉट द लार्जेस्ट कंटेनर पोर्ट. विच इज द लार्जेस्ट कंटेनर पोर्ट, मतलब जो कंटेनर्स को हैंडल करता है, JNPT, जवाहरलाल नेहरू पोर्ट ट्रस्ट मुंबई में है, नया वाला बनाया है. वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट कंटेनर पोर्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया. ओके, सो ओनली 2 pairs आर करेक्टली मैच्ड. दिस इज फ्रॉम करंट अफेयर्स. करंट रिलेटेड है. हाईवेज, ईस्ट वेस्ट कॉरिडोर ऑफ गोल्डन क्वाड्रिलेटरल प्रोजेक्ट. गोल्डन क्वाड्रिलेटरल बोल के ऐसे डायमंड शेप बनाया था, सॉरी डायमंड शेप नहीं. सो इंडिया का जो नॉर्थ साउथ ईस्ट वेस्ट कॉरिडोर ऐसे बनाया था. नॉर्थ साउथ इज फ्रॉम श्रीनगर टू कन्याकुमारी. ईस्ट वेस्ट इज फ्रॉम पोरबंदर टू सिलचर. पोरबंदर टू सिलचर इन असम. दिस इज रॉन्ग. ओके, डिब्रूगढ़ टू सूरत नहीं है. ट्राइलेटरल हाईवे कनेक्ट्स मोरे इन मणिपुर टू चियांग माई इन थाईलैंड. ये तो हमने मैपिंग में ही कवर किया था. मैपिंग भी यूज़ करके कवर कर सकते हैं ये सब चीज़ें. So trilateral highway is a trilateral highway between India, Myanmar and Thailand, and it ends in Thailand. The location is Mesot. Mesot in Thailand. Okay, तो ये भी गलत है, ये भी गलत है, ये भी गलत है. This was in news. BCIM corridor बोल के इंडिया, म्यांमार, बांग्लादेश, चाइना चार लोग मिलके इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर बनाना चाहते थे. फ्रॉम कुनमिंग इन चाइना टू कोलकाता. K to K याद रखना ईजी था. कुनमिंग टू कोलकाता, नॉट अप टू वाराणसी. Okay, none. हाँ, पॉपुलेशन एंड सोशल एस्पेक्ट्स में एक ही क्वेश्चन आए हैं. सो आई टोल्ड यू यहाँ पर भी आपका द ट्रेंड इज either it is moderate to difficult, and so most of them earlier they used to ask questions on the population. Right now they are not asking any question on the population. It's majorly related to tribes. So last एक question आए हैं in the last 7 years, that is about the PVTGs. PVTGs you would have read about it in your society also. Society में भी पढ़ा होगा इसके बारे में. PVTGs are subgroup of STs. ST का subgroup है. There are total of 75 PVTGs in India. अगर ये पता है तो आपको आंसर मिल जाएगा. 95 हटा दो. 3 is wrong. Answer is C. So these are basically very primitive tribes of India. ST के अंदर एक और category है, primitive tribal groups. Okay, particularly vulnerable tribal groups. They are present in 18 states and 1 union territory. Their population is either stagnant or declining, मतलब increase नहीं हो रहे. So Irular and Konda Reddy are the tribes which are PVTGs, which are in Tamil Nadu. ठीक है? Important tribes of India पता होना चाहिए. So that completes the economic aspect. So in the last session I told you that in the end I'll give you one bonus. ये हमारा bonus. Okay, there were a total of 91 questions in geography related in the last 7 years. Other than these 91, I have found nearly 30 more questions which are linked to geography. Okay, they are linked to geography. I'm not saying they are geography questions. There are 3 subjects I found. One is environment. There are few questions in environment which can be answered using the help of geography. Okay, so that includes the questions related to national parks, location of wildlife. Okay, so and some of the characteristics of the ecosystem using geography knowledge आप answer कर सकते हो. There you can use maps. Okay, so national park, wildlife sanctuaries and the distribution of wildlife के लिए आप map use करके याद रख सकते हो. There have been many good questions on that part. And there are a few questions from okay, let me just show 1 or 2 questions. Answer discuss नहीं करूँगा तो आप देख सकते हो. Okay, so you can see between ईस्टर्न घाट वेस्टर्न घाट जहाँ पर लिंक होता है ये कौन सा नेशनल पार्क वहाँ पर लोकेटेड है, ऐसा क्वेश्चन है. ओके, सत्यमंगलम टाइगर रिजर्व. मैप से बहुत आसान से कर सकते हो, अटलस से बहुत आसान से कर सकते हो. दिस इज अनदर क्वेश्चन जो जियोग्राफी का नॉलेज काम आएगा एनवायरनमेंट में. व्हाट एग्रीकल्चर प्रैक्टिस के ऊपर, राइट? So like this there are many questions. I have listed this. I'll share this PPT anyway with you guys. You can use this. Okay, that is one area. Second area is our history and art and culture. It's surprising to know few of the questions from history and art and culture can be answered using the help of geography. I'm not saying geography का knowledge वहाँ पर काम आएगा, but preparation के time में you can use maps and atlas. Okay, so let me show a few. So for example, this one, important seaport in Kakatiya Kingdom. Okay, that is Motupalli. ठीक है, तो जब एंशियंट हिस्ट्री, मिडिवल हिस्ट्री या आर्ट एंड कल्चर पढ़ते हो तो कुछ लोकेशन ऐसे मिलता है तो उसको एक मैप के ऊपर डालते जाओ तो याद रखना ईजी रहेगा. इट इज़ ईजियर. ओके, और द इंपॉर्टेंट लोकेशंस ऑफ इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन, ईजियर टू डू इट थ्रू मैप. यू विल फाइंड मेनी क्वेश्चंस लाइक दिस. And third is IR. IR तो anyway I have included few of them, but few more which I have not considered as part of geography. They are basically groupings. Okay, so this one also be answered, can be prepared using atlas. Prepare करते समय इसको use कर सकते हैं. For example, ASEAN का free trade partners कौन कौन है, तो ASEAN के साथ में वो free trade partners को surrounding में mark कर दो, याद रखना easy है. Right? So you can use this. All these questions I have listed here. So which can be answered using the knowledge of geography. So that completes our discussion on this geography part. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. So definitely, so please go through this again, थोड़ा बहुत एक बार revise कर लो, and use this in your preparation. Align your preparation according to this requirement. Okay, so however, whatever you had studied till now, so what you are going to do ahead is what decides your result. Okay, so if you have any other doubts and queries, you can write to me at this mail ID. You can also connect with me in this link of Twitter. So अभी तो X हो गया, ठीक है. चलो, I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.